Welcome to We Need Wrestling, everybody. I have a can right here.
Totally waiting for you.
Oh, I have a can.
You were
1 week off, and I completely forget how to fucking do.
Brother.
Well, not off, but you know what I mean. Hold on. Forget I said anything.
Pause. Play.
Welcome to We Need Wrestling, everybody. I'm DJ. Sit across the table from me after a missing week of, again, not missing, over the internet, over the Zoom.
I went missing for a week.
Yeah. Is Brett. Pal, before I ask you how you are, I'm so glad to not just be huddled in the corner of my bedroom.
Yes, I'm very happy.
Recording a podcast that ended up echoing horribly because I was literally 3 inches from 2 different walls.
You poor thing, you.
And apparently I don't know anything about audio engineering. But
it sounded good through my headphones.
Yeah, all right, good.
At my home.
I did a lot of tweaking to that
Did
thing
you?
to get me up to like sound like I wasn't on the other end of the Holland Tunnel.
Really? Was that bad?
It was
I
that
got
bad.
stuck in the Holland Tunnel once.
Yeah?
That sucked.
So the whole podcast would have been me sounding like yelling the podcast through a rolled up piece of paper.
Through like a didgeridoo?
Yeah, through a didgeridoo.
Yeah.
It's like a didgeridoo.
Hell yeah.
But how are you, pal?
I'm good, dude.
Yeah?
I'm fucking chilling, brother.
All right, good. I like it. That's what I like to hear.
Chilling. Having a good life. How are
Yeah,
you?
your life's good? Okay, good.
Very good.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we will. Well, off air.
Yep.
How are you?
I'm good, man. Things didn't really settle down here till like Monday. But everyone's gone. The house is quiet.
Things didn't settle down, but everyone's gone.
Everyone's gone. I kind of lost my weekend, so like that hits into my wrestling watching and my everything and my sanity and my perseverance and my willingness to shuffle through this mortal coil. But
Your pure strength through solitude.
yes, but
Perseverance.
but everything's okay. The wedding I went to was actually very nice.
Good.
My family were relatively behaved.
That's important.
Kinda. The cops got called, so that was fun.
That's a true wedding.
But we did good. I saw Barbie on Sunday.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Cool.
The second feature ended up being that Talk to Me.
Did you watch
I
it?
did.
How was
Both
it?
me and Michelle stayed up to watch it.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
That bums me out.
I liked it. Probably overhyped. Probably would have liked it more if people didn't tell me it was the next Hereditary.
Oh, see, I didn't see that. I just heard it was the best horror movie this year.
I'd have to go back and see what other horror movies came out this year.
I don't really know.
Because it might be an easy race.
Yeah,
or people
that's
might
true.
be wrong. But I liked it. It is good.
What other horror movies have even come out?
I don't know. I recommend seeing it.
Yeah?
yeah.
Theater or home?
I think there's enough in the theater. There's enough on the bone in the theater to go see it.
Okay.
I would even possibly accompany people to see it in the theater a second time.
Okay.
Not because I loved it so much, but because, I was watching a movie to drive in.
Oh, that's hard. Sometimes.
Just to see, get the full purview of the effects, because it is all practical effects and there is some gnarly stuff in
I
it.
do like that.
But I don't know that it blew my mind. It didn't blow my balls off.
Not like Barbarian last year.
No.
But that got the hype, and that
Yeah.
I feel exceeded the hype.
Yeah, for sure.
Evil Dead Rise came out this year, didn't it?
If Evil Dead, it doesn't touch Evil Dead Rise, brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, that bums me out. I loved Evil Dead Rise.
Right. Let me see.
I do want to see Talk to Me.
Yeah, Fast X. Oh wait, no, that's not a horror movie. One can dream.
That's a superhero movie.
Evil Dead Rise came out in April. Yeah, it doesn't touch Evil Dead
No?
Rise. No, not for me, buddy. I mean, is it completely fair? Because I do love Evil Dead more than
That's
a lot
tough.
of things. I don't think it touches Evil Dead.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going back through. It's hard because I'm like, I watched Angus. That didn't come out this year. Shout out, Ed. I'm in March, though. Let's see. Shazam! Fear the Gods, not a horror movie.
Could be a horror to some people.
Close, but not. Smile was last year.
Yep.
I rated it about the same with Smile. It's a little better.
I like Smile.
It's a little better than Smile. I like Smile too.
Okay.
It's a little better than Smile because it's R, so it's a little better than Smile.
Okay. Yeah, I liked Smile.
But I get that's to me. I think it'd be like a 3.5 to like a 3 3/4 difference, maybe.
Okay.
Let me see. This is Welcome to We Need Horror Movies, the podcast.
Dude, I fucking wish.
The Menu was last year.
God damn, the Menu rocked.
Menu was real good too. It doesn't. The Menu horror movie
that's
doesn't really touch it though.
a lot of
but
dark.
But I did like
comedy
it.
in
I do
that.
appreciate the practical effects, and I had a good time at the drive-in. It was a nice way to wind down from my weekend. We wanted to go see Barbie, and then we were there, and I was like, "Oh, look at that! They're doing a horror movie as the second feature. That's fun."
That's so fucking.
And Michelle
weird.
stayed awake, which is a crazy thing.
That's even weirder.
Yeah, she watched the whole thing. It's
Sweet.
really insane.
Nice.
But anyway, I'm good. No more shitty people in my house or children, although the children were better behaved than some of the adults that were here.
That's a first.
It really, really is. But I'm good. I'm excited to be on the mics, sitting here
On the ones and twos.
at the soon-to-be named Network North. Now, well, I was here at soon-to-be named Network North last week, but you weren't.
I wasn't.
So I'm glad to have you here at the soon-to-be
I
named
was
Network
at,
North.
I don't know.
My
house.
Yes. It's well, I mean,
My beautiful house.
It's well, what is Adam East or is Joe East?
For me?
Because we're the only people that record in the same room every week, I think.
Yeah.
But what do they call themselves? Because like you can just be an extension. Because like kayfabe here, but I can probably throw a rock to Joe's house from your house. So.
Yeah, it's not far.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. We only live like a couple.
Oh, Soon-to-be Network North Satellite Campus.
There we go.
We have
right.
recorded from there.
That's true. Okay.
In the past.
On special occasions.
We have. But all right, let's. If you're good, I'm good. Let's get into wrestling.
All right.
Do you have any news to talk about, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace to exotic Adrian Street.
Oh, that was this week. It was.
It was. I believe it was Monday. Adrian Street passed away.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I don't know a ton about Adrian Street.
Right.
I know I like to hurt people.
Sure.
So how old was Adrian Street?
70, I think it said. 80.
82.
Okay.
Wow, 82.
Good run especially for a wrestler.
Yeah. Good lord.
Yeah.
Very influential. Retired in 2014. That's hilarious. Adrian Street, real name, by the way.
Oh wow, that's a good name.
Yeah. Adrian Street. So yeah, very influential. I know a lot of people would just say he was way ahead of his time.
Yeah. Right.
Again, that was back in like the 70s,
Yes.
80s. I don't know a ton about
Even
Adrian
before
Street.
that, really. But
I just,
yeah. I
just don't.
Yeah, I like the revenge pictures that he took. Did you see those floating around?
That was great.
Where because he grew up, he was worked in the mines, and his dad and him didn't get along, and whatever. And then he went back and did the photo shoot in full gimmick with his dad and the other coal miners, and you could tell the coal miners were like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, a lot of the stories you hear about Adrian Street were just how Adrian Street was a real legit motherfucker.
Right, yes.
And like the most androgynous motherfucker.
Right.
And if you tried Adrian Street,
Right, try him.
You're going to get hurt.
Exactly.
You're going to get
That's why he was able to
up.
do it in the time when
Yeah.
he was, sort of. You don't have anybody trying, let's say, Dalton Castle in the real world. Then I'm not saying Dalton Castle's not a tough guy, but like it's very
Look
similar.
at
but like
fucking Adrian Adonis.
right,
we just talked about.
that's what I was going to go. We talk about Adrian Adonis. Same thing. You got it. Back in those days, you had to be a real motherfucker, or else people were going to try you. And
You went to try me, Reg. Why didn't you try me?
But Adrian Street, a legend. Been popping up in some documentaries. WWE did that
They
one.
did their own. I meant to watch it this week.
I watched it when it came out.
I watched. Yeah, I think I did too.
Yeah.
I was gonna go back and rewatch it. And I ended up watching a different documentary last night.
Well, we're going to talk about that one. So yes, rest in peace, Adrian Street. Do you have any other piece of news?
I do not. No, sir.
Well, good for you. I've Googled the news.
Oh boy, what do we have?
Pro wrestling news. We're looking at the Elite sign a new multi-year contract. We know that.
We do know that.
We don't need to talk about that. Apparently, Max did too. He said it after the show. I'm
gonna let you in on a little secret. Mm-hmm. That's been signed a very long time.
Absolutely. Jim Ross says Tony Schiavone's balls look like two marbles in a toe sack.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Hold on.
And what's a toe sack? Do we know?
What?
On the latest Grilling JR podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Conrad Thompson discussed the creation of WWE's Talent Relations Department. The job was created in the 90s, and J.J. Dillon was the first person to work in that role. There was a sidebar conversation about Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets that somehow veered towards Tony Schiavone, and some would say that Jim Ross maybe gave away a little too much information about his good friend. Ross said, "Now we know that Bischoff uses something on his nuts, and Schiavone is a nut guy. His nuts look like 2 marbles in a toe sack. There's some cleavage there. That's what I hear." And Conrad said, "I'm really glad that the dirt sheets, or the news websites rather, they've got a new headline." Ross responded, "They look like 2 marbles in a toe sack. There's a lot of space left down there."
So he means like a burlap sack.
Okay.
That's what a toe sack is. Also known as a gunny sack.
Oh, all right. I get it. I have the visual.
That's so
2 marbles, though? That seems like he's got tiny balls.
But does he have is he all sack Drew Kulak?
I don't know.
Is he a lot of sack no balls, though? That's fucking weird.
It seems like, yeah, it's if 2 marbles in a sack, marbles aren't very big. Like, that's,
I need somebody to paint a picture for me, please.
Literally.
Please. Or just take a picture of Tony Schiavone's balls.
Tony Schiavone, if you're listening, please
send me your balls.
Send a picture of your nuts to WeNeedWrestling@gmail.com.
Yes, please do. I did see another thing with Schiavone where he was on his podcast this week and he said the promo segment from Collision with Punk and Starks, it's his absolute favorite thing he's done so far.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
He goes, "I fucking loved it."
All right, cool. Conan says thigh slapping in pro wrestling is like a virus, hurts matches. When not done right, I agree.
Yeah.
Britt Baker's taking a step back from dentistry to focus on AEW.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should focus on the dentistry a little bit more.
Just pick one. If your dentistry is on par with your wrestling, I would not let you in my mouth. In a professional capacity. Takeshita to replace Jon Moxley at Wrestling Revolver event.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, that's pretty much the whole page here.
There you go.
There's a list from MJF to Rhea to a Viking. Here are the 30 best pro wrestlers under 30.
Oh, yes. Sports Illustrated did that, right?
ESPN.
Oh, ESPN. Mm-hmm. I confused the two. I know I only saw a little blurb about Austin Theory.
Okay.
Where somebody's like, he's a 5-tool player when he puts it all together. And it's like, no, dude. He's like the most boring fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, he bores me to tears.
Absolutely.
Fucking sucks.
Yeah. He's got 5 tools, but they're all the same tool, and none of them work for the job we need.
It's all bad.
And also, Dave Meltzer is playable in that upcoming WrestleQuest game, and so is Leva Bates. So,
Is it like an RPG?
Yeah, so I played it months and months ago as a beta.
You fucking beta.
Right, exactly. I played it.
Cuck.
I played a beta cuck mode of it, and it's cool. Lots of Macho Man. You play your character is the Muchacho Man.
Okay.
And there's statues to wrestlers in these towns.
You
and
told me about this. Okay.
It's cool. It's really neat. It was buggy, and it was the beta, so of course it is. It's on an alpha mode. Double alpha. But I really disliked the pinning mechanics.
Okay.
It was very hard to win matches because the pinning thing when I played it, and granted I'm playing it on my Mac through Parallels, it's on a computer, and I'm not the best computer guy, but for the pin, there's a bar on the screen, and the little little pointer goes back and forth, and you have to hit it at the right time. But if you miss, they kick out, and every time they kick out, the window to get a 3 count gets smaller and smaller. And it just got to the point where it was just my coordination wasn't good enough, and I just didn't like the mechanics enough that it was just impossible for me to win matches.
Interesting.
But who knows? I guess it's going to be playable on Netflix.
What?
Yeah, I mean it's not. It's a 2-3 button game. You know what I mean? It's nothing.
But
so
on Netflix?
Netflix is starting to venture into you being able to stream games with your regular subscription.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's simple, and the art is cool. It's very pixelated, old school, sort of updated Pokemon sort of style, top-down view sort of stuff. Legends of Zelda, but really updated kind of stuff. So I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see. But yeah, I wasn't in love with it. It's a better concept than I think it was a game.
Yeah, I'm not satisfied with the last wrestling video game I've bought.
I haven't picked it back up.
I haven't played it in weeks.
Yeah.
Which is funny, is my brother-in-law called me today and he goes, hey, did you know the AEW has a video game? I said, yeah, I sure do. He goes, how is it? And I was like, did you play N64 wrestling games? He said he did. I said, that's it. And so I bought it for Dom for his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's good. Kids,
I said you could pick up and
kids
play.
really like it. And I said this to a friend. I said that kids are going to like this because they don't have 30 years of nostalgia to judge it against.
Yeah.
And I don't dislike the game. It's just there's not enough there for me to bring me back. And I was actually driving the other day and thinking about that, about how poorly planned it is. And people are saying, well, there's all these different story modes you can do, and you have to do all these different specific things to get these certain characters, and I haven't unlocked any of them. But I won the Battle Royal as Eddie, and I won the world title in my first singles match, and it is not mentioned again in story mode.
I'm good.
And I'm like,
that.
if you don't want me, games do this all the time. If you don't want me to be world champion right away, then
don't let me.
Don't let me up that difficulty so I can't win. Right? That's fine. Games do that all the time to push a story in a certain way. But because you didn't do that, and now I'm just traveling town to town, not as world champion. There's no storyline for me as world champion immediately. I'm like, what happens? Like the purpose of this was to do a year in AEW, and I imagine get to the world championship. Well, if I was to complete that story mode, am I just do I wrestle again? Like I get my first challenger?
Yeah.
Like I understand the problem becomes like, well, if I'm world champion right away and then I lose a match, then like because it's random and like Anna Jay is AEW champion, and that's not my fucking problem. Yeah. That's your problem as game developers and story writers. And I think you just did a really shitty job.
It's very shitty.
And I don't dislike the game. I still have fun playing it when I played it. But I'm not like, what am I going to do right now? No. Nah, I'm not.
I'm not clamoring to pick it back up.
Right. It's like number 5 on my list of things when I'm like, I'm bored. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's at least 4 other things ahead of it. At almost every I would more likely go back to playing Fire Pro again than I would. Dude,
I've been getting the itch to play Fire Pro again, but literally I'd have to start from the beginning.
Yes. Right.
I'd have to wipe out everything.
Yes. But
and that would take like a week at least.
It would. So yeah, that's pro wrestling news and a little sidebar about a video game.
Yeah,
that's all I got. So
all right, well,
let's we got 2 sort of documentaries being Dark Side and the American Nightmare thing.
Yes,
we got AEW. We got a trip to Japan. You got some other WWE stuff.
Other little stops.
Where would you like to start? Hold on. Which set of liars would you like to start with first?
Let's start with the super egregious ones.
I can't. I don't know who that is.
Dark Side of the Ring. Bash at the Beach 2000.
Yeah. So,
brother,
before going into this, what were your thoughts before we saw this? But we knew it was coming. What did you think there? Like, how did you feel this episode was going to be?
It was just going to be all the same bullshit you've heard. Okay. Nothing new.
So
and there was nothing new.
There's nothing new. Did you see Penzer?
I saw him tease it.
Yes, he posted about it.
Okay, because all I saw him say was they finally told my story.
So they, according to him, and we'll get into the rest of the episode, but according to Penzer, this is the first time both sides have agreed in public that the original plan was Booker T to be champion at the end of the night, no matter what.
Okay.
He said they would always deny that, and that Russo or Bischoff at separate times have said that was a last-minute decision because they didn't know what to do. And on this, they both agreed. They both admitted very early on that the original plan was always for Booker to be champion at the end of the night. And Penzer was like, I was there. I called Booker T on Thursday and said, hey, you're winning the title. My job was to tell Booker T. Because Booker T went to that building knowing that he was champion. He was going to be champion by the time that pay-per-view was done.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a group of guys lying and Jeff Jarrett trying to straighten it out.
And Jeff Jarrett just being you could tell he still has an utter hatred for Hulk Hogan.
Oh my God, does he ever?
He's very
yes.
Fuck Terry Bollea.
Right.
Yeah, it was, it was funny watching it.
It was.
I laughed watching it.
They definitely set it up that way because they open up with them asking Meltzer. They open up with Meltzer saying did Vince Russo do more harm than good? And he went, well, harm, and yeah. But yeah. So they definitely set that up that way. They talk about Russo wanting to make Lance Storm the illegitimate son of Eric Bischoff.
Dude, that was so fucked up.
So funny.
I did laugh when Lance is I looked at Bischoff and Bischoff looked at me and we're both like, dude, he's only like a couple years older than me.
Right.
What the fuck
Yeah,
is
so
that about?
At minimum 10 years or most 10 years difference or whatever.
It did make me want to go back and watch Lance Storm's WCW run, though.
Yeah.
Because that rocked. The original Team Canada.
Lance Storm is one of those guys that gets passed over for how good and everybody knows he's great in the ring, but he's another one of those dudes that everybody's like, oh, he's boring. And like,
because WWE told you that he was boring.
Right.
That's why.
Right. Lance Storm's cool.
Yeah.
Is he the most charismatic guy I've ever seen? Absolutely not.
No.
But like, he knew how to work, and he knew how to work heel.
Yeah, he was
like
fun.
Lance Storm rules. I've always liked Lance Storm.
Yeah, me too.
The only bad thing Lance Storm ever did was train Taya Valkyrie on that fucking reality show that I never finished watching.
Yeah, don't go back.
Oh no, I am.
Oh god.
Now that it's in my brain, it's happening.
Oh no.
Once I'm done watching Spencer for Hire.
Yeah, it was. If you know the story, you don't need to watch.
Right.
You don't need to watch it.
Absolutely.
I watch it just because I'm like, Vince Russo's hilarious,
Bro.
Eric Bischoff's also like in his own way hilarious.
Yes. Well, the whole thing is just it just depends on who they queue up, and one guy tells his side of the story, and then the other guy, without fail, says the other guy's lying.
Yeah.
Here's what actually happened.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit. Russo sucks.
Shocking.
Bischoff sucks.
Shocking.
Like, it's just
Right.
nothing new.
All of these people suck. We've known this forever.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan went into business for himself and wanted to make money out of a contract so he sued for the money instead of wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so shocked that Terry Bollea is not an above board kind of guy. Yeah, Bischoff says Hogan was in on it. Russo says it wasn't. Somebody mentions it's going to be the screw job. Their
Then
screw
there was
job.
a fax that was sent, but it wasn't received because it was after hours.
Right, it was after
like,
hours and just sat in a room.
Yeah, it was. Again, it was like funny watching it.
So, and
I think it's the funniest subject they've done
it is
before.
for sure. It's not so much dark; it's just annoying.
Like, it's just funny.
But so Russo, even in the episode, gets tangled up in a lie himself about the Penzer Booker T thing, because he initially says that when he comes out and cuts that promo after the Hogan match, when he shoots on Hogan, that was a shoot, right? It wasn't planned. He was full of emotion. He didn't know what he was going to say, and he came up with it all off the top of his head. But then about 10 minutes later, he says that he does that, but Booker was going to be champion. So he gets caught in his own lie there. The Hogan radio call is an amazing thing to me, because, like, it's professional wrestling, right? So why would Hulk Hogan call into a small town like the Tampa, I guess, but like not a nationally syndicated radio show, and expose the business like he did? He was working.
Was it with Bubba at the time?
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know.
Because
that's possible. Then that makes sense.
Yeah,
they didn't mention it by name, but that makes sense then.
Yeah, because I know he used to be big with Bubba.
Of course. Well, the real big. Hulk Hogan was bigger with Bubba. But Terry Bollea was still decently sized, decent size with Bubba.
Oh, Terry Bollea.
But like, so that sucks. And then like he also says like Booker T can say he's the champion, but I'm the real world's champion. You're working then. Like, you're immediately fucking working.
Yeah,
you
to
idiot.
me, yeah, it's just all right, brother.
And I said that we do all understand. We do know that Hulk Hogan considers his two personalities separate, but that doesn't mean he's not lying on the radio.
Yeah.
And the other thing that really bothered me with this, and this is the argument that everybody's heard forever, but like, Eric Bischoff is president of WCW, right? During all of this? Mm-hmm. Like,
no? Remember, he got fired.
Okay.
And then they brought him back.
Okay. So, because who's in charge during this pay-per-view for real?
So, according to them, they said it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
Because if you ask Bischoff, he was brought back by Brad Siegel to oversee Russo.
Okay.
If you ask Russo, Bischoff was brought back to work alongside Russo.
Because at any point, if Russo was actually shooting and the Hogan laying down for Jarrett and all that was real, or Jarrett laying down for Hogan was all real, somebody above Russo could have pulled the plug.
You would think.
Nobody did. And it's like, because it's a work. And the other thing that really caught me in this that I've never really thought about before is that if this is a shoot and Hogan is mad they're trying to screw him over and they're trying to make the point across and Jarrett's just going to lay down for him and Hogan's going to leave with the belt and like all the shit that they like to say happened. If that was the case, why would Hogan pin Jarrett anyway? If the match, it's not a big deal, but if both of these motherfuckers are going to lie for the last 30 years about it, or 20 years, 25 years about it, and then they're going to make an hour-long TV show about it, I'm going to ask why. Like, if this is a shoot and Hogan's actually pissed and he doesn't want it to happen this way and whatever it is, why would he put the boot on Jarrett for the pin? Just leave. Just leave. If you want to fuck Vince Russo like you say you want to fuck Vince Russo, don't pin Jarrett. Walk up that aisle and say, what now?
Terry's got to get the win, brother.
Right, exactly. Because Terry's got to get the fucking win. In the end, Hogan knew he wasn't going to get a new contract, so he played the game to get paid. Shocker.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
The one thing that, and I knew this too, that comes up about this is about how Bischoff claims that he had a backer and they were going to buy the company.
That is legit.
And Turner pulled it off the table.
That's legit.
Because they didn't even want to deal with that shit. They were just like, just sell it to Vince, liquidate it.
Dude, for how cheap it was.
For super cheap. Because Bischoff said like $67 million he was going to buy it for, and they ended up selling it to Vince, that in the library for like
what, less than $4 million.
Right. Crazy.
I remember when there's an interview years ago.
I would have rubbed that scratch together to buy that shit.
Dude, when I think it was Jericho, he said, he goes, when I found out how much Vince bought it for, he goes, if I would have known it was that cheap, I would have bought it.
Right.
That's crazy.
But I guess the thing is that like one of the reasons why they backed out is because Bischoff was like, I'm going to buy it, but like part of this deal is you keep us on the TV.
They wanted Mondays and Thursdays
and
still.
Turner was like, we don't want you on our TV at all.
Because the ratings were abysmal.
Right, absolutely. And Bischoff wasn't the man to turn it around anyway.
No, not at all.
It would have just been TNA, but yeah, that was the Liars Club Part 1. I enjoyed it though.
Oh yeah, it's fun to watch.
Right. What's next week's?
The season finale.
Oh, Party Marty.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Coming to Hamburg, Pennsylvania, Party Marty.
Oh boy, well, we can go party with him.
He got his probation officer's permission, I guess, or parole officer.
Oh, Martin Jannetty.
If he wasn't such a coward and tried to run from Sean right through that bar.
If I met him, I'd have to call him a coward, right?
He's a coward. He is.
Fuck.
He might then try to stab you behind in the dumpster or something.
I think I like my chances.
I like your chances against Marty now. I like your chances against Marty in the 90s. Yeah.
I think I got that one.
Yeah. The only Marty you probably couldn't take is like the Midnight Rockers, because he definitely had like a straight razor in his boot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. He'd cut you.
He'd cut you, brother. So yeah, the other documentary.
Yes.
So I wasn't going to watch this because I was like, I just don't really care.
Yeah.
But I did watch the Cody. What was it called? Was it just called The American Nightmare?
American Nightmare. Yeah. Becoming Cody Rhodes or something. Okay. It's called. So
I did watch that. I didn't hate it. I actually thought it was like pretty good. I
had it on while I was working.
I think a lot of it's so funny because a lot of it is like WWE just burying itself.
Yes. Big time.
And it's just, that's how it comes off to me. Not like Michael Cole at the end when he's like, not only did like Cody left and he was a boy, when he came back, he was a superstar and he was a man. I just wanted to be like, yeah, in spite of you.
Right. You did that.
You didn't fucking help him at all.
Right.
Like,
not even a little.
No. That's one thing I'll say about Cody.
Yeah.
Obviously, not my dude. He fucking built it himself, man. He built himself up.
I was a little hot after watching this. I've calmed down. I don't hate Cody as much as I did immediately after watching this, but I do hate Cody because he's also a liar. And Brandy, also a fucking liar.
Yeah, she's a fucking liar.
She is so full of shit.
Dude, she quietly retired, though.
Yeah, right. Good. But some of the things initially, they talk right in the beginning, they set it up with Dusty, and they say that he's on the Mount Rushmore of sports entertainment, and it gives me the douche chills. Because Dusty Rhodes is a fucking professional wrestler.
Pro wrestler, baby.
God, I wish they'd go away from sports entertainment. I really hate it. Particularly,
they never will.
Particularly when talking about the older generations.
Yeah, they never will.
That sucks. Like, you're going to call Harley Race a sports entertainer?
Nope.
Like, get the fuck out of here. So when they did it to Dusty, I was like, you say wrestling there. I don't care.
You're a pro wrestler.
Because nobody from the sports entertainment era belongs on the Mount Rushmore. Nobody who started brand new in the sports entertainment era belongs on the Mount Rushmore. So some guys who've been there and will have worked their way through it can be up there. But like nobody, like Seth fucking Rollins ain't on the Mount Rushmore of anything. So
Okay, so not your personal Mount Rushmore.
right.
If you were to look at wrestling, splash, sports entertainment as a whole,
Okay.
who would your guys be on the Mount Rushmore?
So it's always a hard question because, Mount Rushmore in reality is like 4 very important presidents, but mostly from the beginning half of the country.
Sure, I'm saying any era.
Yeah. So but like the 4 guys who made the biggest impact in professional wrestling as a whole, as we know it today, Dusty's not on my Mount Rushmore.
No.
He's on my personal, but he's not on that one.
No.
You got to put Vince.
Okay.
Does he change the business, good or bad? I don't agree with what he did, but he changed the business. Huckster, because he's a worldwide name.
Yep.
Right? And then you got to go Ric Flair, because there's nobody bigger than Flair, opposite of Hogan.
Okay.
And then you go Stone Cold.
Okay.
And honestly, probably The Rock.
Okay.
Because you get Vince and Hogan and Flair that sort of made it national. And we're big enough stars to be like the marquee nationally, right? Vince changes the business, and then Austin and The Rock changed the business, bigger than anybody besides those guys. Like those guys coming in were the next coming.
Okay.
I don't know how right that is. I can make a million of these things.
That's why
But those are the dudes that really like fundamentally I feel changed professional wrestling.
Okay.
I love Dusty Rhodes with all my heart. I don't know that he fundamentally changed what professional wrestling was. Terry Funk's the best to ever do it, but I don't think he fundamentally changed what wrestling was.
Yeah.
I think Ric Flair changed how it was character work. I think Hulk Hogan becoming the household name is still to this day. You can go anywhere on this planet and say Hulk Hogan and everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Vince changed the game, good or bad, changed how wrestling's presented. And then Austin and The Rock, both crossover stars and household names again.
Okay.
So, I think Rock and Austin are bigger than like say an Undertaker internationally.
No doubt. I agree with that.
The
one person I will make an argument for is John Cena.
Cena would be a really good one too. Yeah.
He's right there.
For sure. The crossover appeal, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for how massive he was.
I would bounce.
I'm not saying good or bad. It's
absolutely. If I had to bounce
appeal.
anybody, and this might be blasphemous, if I had to bounce anybody from the list I gave to put Cena in there, it'd be The Rock.
Probably.
Because like Rocky's great, but Rocky got there on the back with he had some good dance partners.
Of course.
And compared to some of those guys, a shorter-ish run, right? Like
his run wasn't long.
Not there for a long time. Burned real hot, real fast,
really,
and is a massive star now.
You think of The Rock's run on top-ish. Mm-hmm. You'd say 99?
Yeah.
Late 98 to SummerSlam 02.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you look back, like if you look at The Rock, even the beginnings of the Nation Rock, it took a little bit still.
Yeah, because SummerSlam 02, that's where Goldberg beat him.
Right. And then he's just been coming back at riding the nostalgia.
Or not Goldberg, that's where Brock beat him.
Yeah, but he's been coming back in nostalgia, popping huge.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had a significant run, really.
No. Maybe Backlash 03. Yeah. That's when Goldberg came and beat him. That's what I'm thinking. All right. But yeah, Cody, I don't know. So when they talk about like the torn pectoral stuff, I still say that is one of the gnarliest fucking things I've ever seen.
All the respect that I have for Cody is based on that.
Like that was
it's insane.
That was fucked up, man.
Right. It is a legendary thing, and even like Taker says, the if you're walking, you're out there.
Yeah. It was just like watching the visual again of him taking that jacket off and the crowd just like just know. And that is still just one of the craziest things I've ever seen in
Absolutely.
wrestling. But yeah, I did kind of like when they were like, he was put it together in the States on the Indies, but then like he really put it together in New Japan. I was like, look at you giving them a little kudos. Like,
and so Cody does sort of frame All In as just being him and the Bucks, and maybe it was.
Well, and somebody
it wasn't.
Somebody in our Discord made a good point.
Okay.
There was one of the EVPs who was not mentioned at all during this. One Mr. Kenny Omega.
Right. Yes.
And then Brandy was kind of stirring the pot a little bit.
Who, to me, is the worldwide talent that got that off.
No doubt.
Because
it's Kenny.
as I was explaining to Michelle, the Bucks started this because they had worn out their welcome in Japan. The Bucks can say whatever you want. Yeah. They weren't getting the reaction, and New Japan wasn't willing to pay them as much anymore.
2018 Tag League Finals, when they came out and they confronted, I think it was Evil and Sonata.
Right.
And the crowd just did not give a shit.
It was over. Right.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, overall, like, again, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, just Cody's not my guy.
Right. Never will be.
I get sad when he talks about Dusty.
Me too.
You know, because it was his fucking dad.
Absolutely.
And so I never saw that clip of him at SummerSlam when he teamed up against Stephen Amell when they were interviewing him, like just that sit down. They said it was like 10 weeks after Dusty died. And you could tell, like, dude should not be there right now. You know, like absolutely. He was just a wreck. And,
absolutely.
You know, when he says, and I know it's become like a line or whatever, but when he says, you know, all these NXT people are your Dusty's kids. Well, guess what? Like, I'm his actual fucking
I'm his
kid.
Actual kid, right?
You know, like, and part of me, I'm like, yeah, man, fuck yeah.
Right.
Like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, fuck these guys.
For sure.
You know?
And,
like,
you know, there are a couple other things that caught my eye. Like, jokingly, I was like, oh, Cody took acting lessons, like, and paid for them. Why isn't he better?
dude, it pays off. Come on.
Yeah. The fact that he says he doesn't leave AEW because of money or other talent, it was a personal issue that he won't say, and it was to chase his original dream.
That's bullshit.
Right. It's bullshit.
It's personal issue thing.
Sure.
You know.
But it's WWE spin, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and they go over the thing with the Dusty holding the title, and he didn't get it because of a count out and all that.
Famous story now.
Right. And like all that stuff. But like that, it's just such bullshit. But I get it. We've talked about this before on the show. I get wanting to be the main event of WrestleMania. Sure. It's still the biggest wrestling event in the world. But Brandy on this show talks about how one of the reasons they left or whatever, they were unhappy, is because the management at AEW was waiting too long to renew contracts.
I know, right? Get the fuck out of
here. And that was one of the reasons that they were like, well, we don't know if we're going to get paid, so the other offer came in.
Maybe we're waiting long to renew your contract.
Your contract, right. And then I was like, oh, wait, we're going to spin this off like WWE doesn't fuck with everybody's money all the time? Like WWE basically does nothing but fuck with people's money and livelihood now. And has for a while. So, like, I'm just like, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like, and like, Brandy is super pretty.
Oh,
she
of
is
course.
a fantastic looking lady. I love that Cody's first thing when it was like, your hair looks terrible.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, he's hitting on you. And Cody's like, I promise you I wasn't. She looked real bad.
Yeah.
Is hilarious.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad she quietly fucking retired. I'm so glad you do your fitness journey, do whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Do what you got to do.
Stay out of my purview.
Yes, please.
You know, I love that she made her list of like back then of the wrestling that people she wanted to wrestle, and like when Kylie Ray was on that list. How'd that work out?
What, man? You don't want the return of open mic night, bitch?
No, I want the return of malpractice, but I'm not willing to go to that length to get it.
How bad do you want it?
But yeah, like, and then we sort of talked about this off air, but like WWE and Trips, you know, the secondary company thing came off, and everybody bid on that one, and they are, and there's nothing wrong with being a secondary company. Somebody's got to be right. But like the fact that they think that this Cody now is a result of how they treated him in the beginning, like, well, we wanted him to leave and make better of himself.
No, you didn't.
It's like you didn't. He left because you were like, we got nothing for you but putting a fucking star on your head and being Goldust Jr. And like all that shit was going old. And Dusty was in a good spot, and you left.
Can I tell you a little secret?
Yeah.
I kind of liked Stardust.
Me too.
It was fucking weird.
He had a personality, right?
It was weird. Like,
I like Dashing Cody Rhodes.
Dashing Cody Rhodes was awesome.
Right. I like Dashing Cody Rhodes.
When he wore the fucking plastic mask was
right. It's
awesome.
Hilarious. Right.
When he grew a mustache and he was teaming with fucking Damian Sandow. Like,
right.
I was like, why was that none of that mentioned?
No.
That would have been so cool to talk about.
Just a little bit about Dashing Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
But like the fact that they like are
After he
like,
went and got his teeth fixed.
yeah, well, the last half hour of this documentary was about the American Nightmare coming home and main eventing Mania and gutting through the injury and all this stuff, and that's great. Like it's like it's tried the Peck stuff we said was amazing, but the fact that they're gonna act like you didn't whole cloth just jump over with your AEW presentation, like the jacket didn't fucking change,
Nothing.
the
music,
right?
nothing.
WWE
The logo,
built
the
the Cody,
nickname.
right? WWE built a Cody Vader,
Yeah.
Like none of the presentation changed, so like AEW may be the secondary company, but you took one of their biggest acts and put it on your TV, and it became like the most over thing on your TV.
Yeah.
And you changed nothing.
Nothing.
You just
Zero.
Cody just happened to be in a system that fits his lack of talent ass better than AEW did.
Yeah.
Like it's AEW people are looking towards better matches, and Cody couldn't deliver. He's had some good ones.
He had good ones.
That last one he had with Sammy, I was talking about this week. It was awesome.
Dude, that first match against Dustin.
Right. It's great.
Where they both
Absolutely.
bled buckets was awesome.
Right. I think one of Cody's problems is that he's unmotivated in the ring. I think he has to tell himself that he's the best wrestler in the world all the time because he needs to convince himself of that because he knows he's not, and he couldn't handle it. And again, my big takeaway from Cody, whenever I watch anything about him or see him fucking talk outside him being a liar, is that you may have the lisp, but you'll never be your dad.
No.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah, and there was one line that I liked where he was just like it's okay to take things from my dad, but at the same time, like he even told Dusty, this is my career, you know? Stay away.
Absolutely.
If I need you, obviously I will talk to you, but like, don't interject,
Right. But he does happen to bring him up every fucking 10 minutes.
Man, he's just a guy who loved his dad.
I love his dad too.
Well, are you one of Dusty's kids?
No, but I would have loved to have been because I love Dusty Rhodes with all my heart.
Me too. WWE does do a good job in these documentaries.
Very well made.
I was shocked,
internet darling Stephen Amell doing the narration.
Dude, I had no idea who was doing it until he's like, yeah, even I was at SummerSlam. But the voiceover was like, oh God, that's Stephen Amell.
Yep.
Good for you.
Hilarious.
You fucking scab.
Hilarious.
All right, I guess we'll talk like real wrestling.
Yeah.
So I watched nothing from SmackDown.
Okay.
No thanks.
All right.
Raw, I did watch Gunther versus Chad Gable.
Is this the match you told me was fucking? Oh no, that was from NXT.
That was from NXT.
People were talking about this match though.
This was Gunther Gable.
Yeah.
Gunther kind of confronts Chad backstage. So this is after Maxine Dupree won her match using the fucking ocean cyclone.
Did you see people on Twitter saying how dare she and because she didn't ask permission?
Get fucked.
Right.
Get all the way fucked.
Right.
Chad Gable was like, hey, I really like this wrestler, Manami Toyota. Hey, here's a move. Use it.
Here's a move that nobody uses. Use it.
Here,
you'll stand out.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah, looks fucking awesome. But Gunther comes up to him and he says to Gable, he goes, you're like a former Olympian and you've become like reduced to this joke.
Yeah.
He's like, seriously, this is pathetic.
Wait, is this Chad Gable or just Gable Stevenson?
No. This is Chad
Because Gable Stevenson wrestled this week too, right?
He did. I did not watch it, but apparently
this is Shorty G you're
apparently
talking
he got
about.
booed out of the building.
Good.
Over Baron Corbin.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'd hang it up.
Yeah. Sorry, same for me, brother. But yeah, so Gunther says, I could beat you in 5 minutes.
Okay.
He doesn't beat him in 5 minutes.
Okay.
And he wants the clock to restart. Clock restarts. Doesn't beat him again. Finally puts him away. Match was fucking really good, dude. Let these guys. I'd love to see these two have a feud.
Yeah.
For real.
Gable's
Chad
great
Gable's
wrestler.
so underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just little. People don't like him because he's tiny.
I know Bryan Danielson said a long time ago, he said, that's one of the guys I want to see outside of WWE to see what he can do. You know? Him and, Claudio, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, from NXT, Great American Bash. Forgot this was a thing.
Yeah.
Sunday night, I wasn't doing anything, and I was scrolling Twitter, and I saw a clip of it, and I'm like, oh, wow, forgot this was on.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing. I'll watch it.
Okay.
I watched 2 matches. 3 matches, but 2 I thought were good. North American title, Dominic Mysterio, the champ, against Mustafa Ali and Wes Lee.
Oh, a 3-way.
Yeah.
Oh.
The star of this was Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
Rhea Ripley pump handle slammed Wesley through the announce table.
Oh, good.
It was fucking sick.
Okay.
She was just she threw Dom in like the North American belt. He got it taken off of him. Then she threw in her women's world title to Dom.
Nice.
And he hit. I forget who he hit with it. But so Wesley got hit with a 450 from Ali, and then Rio ripped him out of the ring on the pin, and then Dom hit the frog splash for the win.
Nice.
Hey, dude, Dominic Mysterio. I'm all right with that guy.
All right, good.
His mullet, like, he looks so much like Eddie.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip?
Does.
Did you see that clip of him where they were doing like the Ask Anything?
Yeah, and he's what the hell? He said something about his dad or whatever.
Yeah, repairing the relationship
Yeah.
with your dad. He's like, I wish I could, but he's not here.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Eddie.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. And then main event for the NXT title, Carmelo Hayes against Ilya Dragunov.
Wait, who's NXT champion?
Carmelo Hayes.
Really?
Yeah,
He beat Breaker?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
he did.
What's old Bronson up to?
I don't know.
Cool.
I really don't know.
All right, I like it.
But I was talking in the Discord, and I was talking to Kevin Ford, and I was like, Carmelo, I'm like, I like Dragunov. I think Dragunov's really good, but Carmelo Hayes, I just, he's a guy to me, you know?
Right.
This match fucking rocked. They beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Dragunov, he hit this like catch power bomb and dumped him like right on his neck.
Ooh.
And it was so cool.
Nice.
And then Dragunov went for a springboard. Hayes like caught him in midair with like a code breaker position. It was weird because like they stopped because then it was like it's hard to explain. He caught him in midair, but then Dragunov just like stopped on his feet on the ground, then fell back, like fell forward for the breaker or for the code breaker. And then he sold it like front flip forward and like he landed on his own neck.
Oh.
It was very like, whoa, what the fuck?
All right.
But Carmelo Hayes retained over Dragunov.
Interesting.
Man, I do like...
Carmelo Hayes, the man who apparently worked out with Cody Rhodes to get him back.
That's true. See, there's our second Carmelo Hayes sighting. Am I going to watch NXT all the time? Fuck no.
Okay.
But these little specials are sometimes, if there's something interesting. Like that, that Dragunov, what's-his-face match that we watched a couple months ago. Why can't I remember?
No.
Dijak.
Yes.
That match was
Yeah, it was
awesome.
a good match. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Not the company it once was, but they can still get some stuff out
They
there.
they still have some bangers. I was gonna do that.
Breaking news. Big breaking news here at Longbox Heroes. Or Longbox Heroes. I just called
what the fuck?
It's because Todd confused me in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
So much by saying the Longbox Heroes is open for business, and I don't know what that means.
Because I think was it Silverthorne posted about the pigskin pick'ems?
It was such. I feel like an idiot, but it's the
You got thrown off,
If you've
brother.
ever seen the Lewis Black, the bit from his one stand-up thing where he overheard the woman at the Waffle House say, "If it wasn't for my horse, I wouldn't have spent that year in college."
Yes.
And he said, "You think about that for more than 3 minutes, and blood will come out of your nose." I could not figure out what it meant, so it was stuck in my brain.
Well.
And in my absolute excitement, I just named us the wrong show. This is We Need Wrestling.
Welcome to Longbox Heroes
you've been-
After Dark.
You've been listening to We Need Wrestling for close to an hour already.
Yeah. Totally recorded real time.
This will timestamp it. It's a little after 10 o'clock, and we just got breaking news.
We sure did.
Maybe we'll move the
Weekly purchases right
weekly
now.
purchases to up a little bit.
Let's do it.
Because Brett just showed me on his telephone computer,
My cell phone.
your cell phone, that on August 19th
Yep.
in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena, around the corner from Tony and Nick's
Oh, we get to go get a
cheesesteaks.
cheesesteak.
Again, I had cheesesteak, the best part of my week last week. The All-Star Juniors Festival just announced its 25th participant.
Yes.
But in our hearts, it's the 69th.
I wish it was the 69th.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, big match to Gooch just got announced.
He's back, baby.
He's back. He's going to be in Philadelphia in 2 weeks' time, and we're going.
Dude.
I was waiting. The announcements weren't knocking my socks off. There's some really cool talent. I'm very excited to get to see Dragon Kid. That's real rad.
I think so, too.
There's lots of other people that I like, but when they're announcing, like, I don't know that I'll make that noise in
What
Philly.
noise?
But he's going to be there. Shun Skywalker is going to be there. Lots of great talent. But I was like, yo, okay. The Clark Connors, okay. Like, these tickets ain't cheap.
Master Watto. Watto.
Nobody does that. But we got tickets, and I just bought them
Fuck yeah.
3 minutes ago.
That was a selling point, brother.
My sign's still downstairs. I was waiting on Taguchi.
He might come hug you.
He might. I was waiting on Taguchi. So hopefully I get to get within arm's reach of him, or at least legally, as close legally as I'm allowed, next to my guy, who apparently gets like people don't really like him that much.
Who?
I don't know. I heard somebody talk. Was it Joe? Joe on the Ed episode maybe said that people complain about Taguchi. Like, what isn't he? That one dude from whatever show.
Those people don't matter.
Said like, I wish he would keep his pants on. I wish he'd take his pants off.
Yeah, all the time.
Right. We didn't get to see his red underwear.
Yeah.
If you're a big match Taguchi fan like we are, he only has one pair of underwear and they're red.
Bright red.
So hopefully I get to see those red underwears.
Take them pants off, boy.
And hopefully there's a Taguchi meet and greet, and I could be the happiest boy ever.
I'm so happy. I knew they were. I fucking knew it.
I was holding out for big match Taguchi. Dragon Kid was like one of the big ones. Dragon Kid, for my money, is like the best. Like when you watch like Vikingo and all these guys do all this really crazy shit on AEW, and they're amazing and they're young and they're doing it, bigger and different. But like Dragon Kid was the first guy after the original like WCW cruiserweights that I ever saw that I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
FMW original because he was a referee.
Damn right.
So who knows? Maybe Ultimo will get involved.
Could you imagine?
Who knows? So
Well, I'm hyped.
maybe we'll get T-Hawk or El Lindaman and Mania.
If El Lindaman and Mania
Soberano is
came
going to be
over,
there, and I'm
yeah.
happy for that too. He was my favorite out of the juniors one.
That was one of the guys you
So,
said, like, if he gets
If
announced,
Soberano gets announced,
I'm in.
it'd be cool to see Templario.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty rad. But we'll see. I mean, not even like an Atlantis Junior or whatever, but we'll see. But that's big match to Gooch. I've said it. I made myself very clear everywhere that Taguchi gets announced and we're going to go.
Yeah.
So, because it's Taguchi.
It's the Taguchi.
I get to do something I didn't think would ever happen in my life, and I get to do it twice, like in a month.
How happy are you?
It's Taguchi. I'm fucking so happy. He's like he's the best. He's definitely my favorite
he's
junior.
my friend.
He's my friend. He's definitely like the best junior, my favorite junior. Like, I like Ishii more as a wrestler,
Sure.
obviously, old Mr. Consistent. I sure as hell like Ishii more than Gato does, but
Poor Ishii.
But Taguchi brings me so much joy, and just a very similar feeling to like the first time I saw Ishii. Like when I saw Ishii, I was like, "That's my guy," and like same thing with Taguchi. I saw Taguchi, I was like, "It's my guy," because he's an ass man.
He's just one of your guys.
And I'm an ass man too. And put your ass on the
Are
line.
you gonna wear your Mr. Ash shorts for him?
Oh, I could.
Oh boy.
I almost bought today. Speaking of, the dude was doing shorts somewhere. I don't remember who it was, but they were the Triple H game shorts.
Oh, they were misprints.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I like those shorts, and like, I'm not a big Triple H guy, but it'd be funny to have the game thing over my crotch, and I like the purple ones.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, severely discounted, and I was like, oh, well, I'll hit him up. $35.
No, that's not severely discounted.
Right, that's bullshit.
You crazy man.
You're getting these for free because they were an error.
Yeah, you crazy.
So like maybe
ass.
you paid shipping, but you're getting them rerun. You're rerunning them if it's a screw up for free. So you're like, come on, like
get out of
$25,
town.
brother, $20. Let's go here.
Get out of town.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, big match to Gooch. Sign's ready. It's downstairs. I don't think I'll make a sign for anybody else. Maybe I'll make an Android sign. Bring my ketchup water packets.
He's gonna fucking.
He's gonna be there. And you were mad when he was across an arena from you.
I pointed that motherfucker out
absolutely.
real quick.
Yeah, like a hawk spotting a field mouse in a field. You were just like, there he is,
like a T-Hawk.
Right. You smell them from 100 yards. And now he's gonna be within 50 feet because that place is teeny tiny.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But so yeah, so there you go. Big match to Gooch coming back into our lives, and a couple other really cool people. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Definitely overpriced these tickets.
Yeah, hopefully Kevin Ford changes his mind.
But to Daryl Takahashi's going to be there.
Yes, Daryl specifically.
Hopefully Daryl. Despy. Like, there's a lot of good talent. It's just like, whatever. Kevin Knight. I like Kevin Knight. Does that mean Kushida announced?
I don't know.
He's going to be on the Impact, I would imagine. So if Kevin Knight's going to be there, I'd imagine Kushida.
Think, right?
I always like seeing Kushida.
I think Speedball's on it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's on commentary?
I don't know.
Well, not buying that one.
Hopefully not who I think.
But, yeah, so we'll see. But that's the third New Japan show we've seen in that joint.
It's not a New Japan show.
Oh, well, it's the All-Star Junior Festival, but it's sponsored by New Japan, basically.
It's not sponsored.
I just bought tickets through a link on New Japan 1972, so...
Nuh-uh, man. You went to the 2800 Arena website to do that, brother. I don't know. Where this is semantics.
All right. Let's get in back where we left off.
I don't remember where we are.
We just got done talking about NXT.
Okay.
And we're moving on to AEW.
Dub.
Yes.
To watch Rampage.
Begrudgingly.
I did not.
Oh.
Nope.
You know what?
You motivated me last week.
Well, because here's the interesting thing about this. There wasn't a good fucking thing on this show.
That's part of why I didn't watch it either.
So, you get Big Bill and Cage as seeming to be a more permanent tag team, but they don't have matching gear. They need to have matching gear.
I agree with that.
The Kingdom comes on my TV. The Kingdom should get off my TV, and then they're on again this week. Commander versus Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian re-signed. I guess Tony Khan likes wasted money. Yep. You get a Jerry Lynn training video. I will tell you this. The Kingdom wrestles. It's a squash match, but they wrestle My Young Jay Lee, LVAC stalwart.
I saw that, yes.
So he's on the show, so good for him, but they get nothing, man.
Of course.
Nothing. Dark Order promo says they're back and they're rebuilding and they're going to be the Dark Order they should have been from the beginning, which is nice. I'm excited for that. The Fight Without Honor was a lot of fun at that pay-per-view. So, and then Shida versus Nyla is the main event. And it was a Shida versus Nyla match. We've seen it 9 million times. Shida wins. It's good. I still like Nyla. But this is clearly just to move Shida, get Shida a win right before her big Dynamite match. But that's it. That's all a Rampage. It is completely skippable.
Well, DJ.
Yes.
Do you know what Saturday nights are?
Saturday night. Or it's all right for fighting.
That's right, baby. AEW Collision.
I didn't watch the second half of Collision until last night after Dynamite. Because I was watching it Sunday or Monday. And I started to fall asleep, and I was like, I'll finish this tomorrow. And then Dynamite literally kicked on the air, and I was like, I never finished Collision. But I did. So, Collision. We'll just pretend like I watched it.
Yeah.
Because Darby Allin wants to fight anybody.
That's
what he says at the beginning.
That is true.
In his opening promo.
But before we get to that.
Yes.
In a ladder match for Andrade's mask.
Yes.
Andrade versus Buddy Matthews. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of this fucker?
So I don't know if you noticed this, but Andrade is dressed like Diesel in this match.
Yeah, absolutely he is. As a wise man once said, copy it ain't get it.
That's right. So Andrade has shot up the rankings.
Yeah.
If he's going to be Luchador Diesel.
I'm into it, brother.
El Diesel-O.
God damn it.
Andrade El Diesel-O. It works.
All right, get Riccaboni on the phone.
It works.
Somebody.
Yeah, maybe he's in the Riccabone zone.
Yeah, the Riccabone zone, eh? Oh my god, I love that guy.
Me too. So,
the Riccabone zone.
Andrade dressed like Diesel. This match rocks.
Yeah, dude.
We haven't. I've complained in the past about Andrade because we haven't seen this Andrade. We all know he's a good wrestler. We haven't seen this Andrade. We haven't seen him motivated. Something to do. We haven't seen Andrade.
It's been a while. Well, you haven't seen a period,
right? But we haven't seen him with something to do even before he had disappeared for a while. So this is awesome. Buddy's shoulder legit gets popped out, and he just has the doc put it back in. And I was like, "Oh, it's just working an angle." And then he tweeted, "He was like, don't say I don't ever give everything to you guys," and that's gross. But the greatest thing in this match, this match is really good. I like the handcuff spots, all that.
Dude, the moonsault off the ladder on the outside was gross. The sunset flip powerbomb onto the ladder was gross.
The back elbow that Andrade hits Buddy with, and he sort of falls a little bit backwards with it, so it doesn't have the control.
Yep.
It looks like he killed him.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's incredible.
It was awesome. Shockingly, these guys can fucking go.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, and they do here.
I
liked
loved the finish
Yeah.
with Julia getting pushed off the ladder.
Yeah.
Like, and through Buddy.
Through
Buddy.
Through Buddy.
Through Buddy, through the table. It was just like a cool finish, you know?
Absolutely.
And Andrade has his mask back. So.
He does, yes.
Yay, Andrade.
Yeah,
mask.
hopefully he continues to dress like Diesel.
I agree. Yeah.
Andrade El Dieselo.
So, yeah, Darby wants to fight somebody.
Yep.
And
What was the Miro backstage thing? Is he feuding with Aaron Solo?
Dude, I don't fucking know. That happened.
It was Aaron Solo, right?
That happened, and I'm just like, who cares?
Yeah.
This sucks. But yeah, Darby Allin, he was looking for a fight, brother. And a fight he gets.
Yeah.
When fucking Minoru Suzuki comes out.
Right.
Because why not?
Right, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, he's just
Why
there.
not?
He's hanging out.
Yeah, dude. These two kind of beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, Darby starts real hot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he's going to pay for all of this. This is a bad idea. And Suzuki makes him pay.
He's at one forearm when I was just like, ugh.
Yep.
But ultimately, Darby wins.
Yes, it's a great finish.
I thought so too.
Yeah, he gets caught in the coffin drop and then reversed out of it. It's awesome. Yeah. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
What did you think of Samoa Joe and Gravity? Samoa Joe's the coolest wrestler ever.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
So
Okay, he's the second coolest.
I'm glad-
I have a very cool one to talk about later.
I'm glad that Samoa Joe is able to be here because he's doing a lot of fun stuff. Like, I know and it stinks that he can't do promo for the show. Then I'm going to watch Twisted Metal. I haven't gotten around to it yet. But I'm glad that he's here because when he did the fucking gravity walk away from gravity.
Amazing, dude. It was absolutely incredible.
He's such a dick.
I love him so much.
And he's been doing that spot forever.
It never gets old.
Right. So that's awesome. I liked it. It's, gravity, I think, has... we're good now. I think gravity
we're good.
we're good.
Let's move on.
But yeah, that was Samoa Joe fucking rules.
Yeah.
We got a Tony Storm hype video or package before that where she says that Sheeta was the pandemic champion and we're all glad that it's over. I'm like, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second there, Tony Storm. And we get Tony Schiavone interviewing CM Punk.
We sure do. Hey.
Or the real world's champion.
Hey, DJ, what's in the bag?
What's in the bag is the belt with his name on it.
Sure is. And his blood on it because nobody's beat him for it.
That's true.
And remember, Phil only got to the arena 2 hours ago, and he makes his towns.
Ooh.
And he keeps his promises.
Who doesn't make his towns? Who's that a
because
shot at?
he has to be the adult in the room.
Oh. Who doesn't make their towns?
I know a lot of people were speculating it was like him taking a shot at the Bucks for being on vacation.
Who cares? Then they don't need to make a town when they're on vacay.
Who goes on vacation, bro?
Rich people.
You're a pro wrestler.
The Bucks definitely.
You're a pro wrestler. You travel once a week.
The Bucks definitely have a yacht.
Probably.
Yeah. But anyway, he spray paints the X, and he said is his symbol on the belt. But it coincidentally, very carefully, only crosses over the Elite. The E for Elite.
Hey.
And, if you listen to the Young Bucks, when they re-signed, they said no matter who shows up and who does what, the Elite are the main characters of AEW. Which I think is an inherent flaw in AEW.
They said they're the heart and soul.
Right, and they're the main characters.
Yes.
Garbage. But Punk's doing his thing, telling lies. And
telling truth.
Ricky Starks comes out.
He does.
The face of Collision.
The face?
The face. And we get a what popped me huge, a Julio De Niro reference.
Dude, same. I lost my mind when he said that.
They're really good going back and forth, and Stark is like, I should be you, and this, blah, everything and everything. And then he's like, bring a friend. He goes, we all know you don't have any friends. And Punk's like, I'm going to bring somebody next week to be the referee, and I will be from my past. And Stark's like, who's it going to be? Julio De Niro.
Julio De Niro. Dude, Starks was on fire when he's like, yeah, you have no friends in the crowd's like, oh. Starks just goes, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade.
Right.
Starks rocks.
And then
Punk was good here too, man.
Yeah,
this was awesome.
For sure. And it does end up being a guy from CM Punk's past.
Bob Vila. Fucking Bob Vila's showing up.
I hope that he has the Bob Vila. Yeah.
I said that right in the Discord when it happened. I go, if there's no Bob Vila goatee, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah, and then the only other...
did they say on Dynamite, I know jumping ahead, but did they say that he'll be an outside the ring enforcer now?
Yeah,
He's not a referee.
They said the same thing.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not a ref. He's just gonna.
He's just
somebody's gonna take a powder, and Steamboat's gonna give him the old.
Yeah. The old choo-choo.
Yeah.
Yes, the old choo-choo. So
I watched that clip back from the Ring of Honor thing.
yeah, it's great.
When he puts the beating on Punk.
it's so good, dude.
And then I was like, man, remember when he had that comeback in the WWE right after that?
Dude, the match...
Him and Jericho,
yeah.
like they had that little feud.
They had the Mania 3-on-1, and then they had the Backlash match after that. And it was fucking awesome.
Steamboat looked great, and he got hurt in like a backstage
He got
segment or
hurt
whatever.
when he got beat down by the Nexus.
Right. And that was it. And he looked fucking good.
He was awesome, man.
He's gonna throw an arm drag, right?
Yeah.
He has to.
Better.
He's healed. If
We just had a match last year.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Didn't he team with FTR?
I think so. Yeah.
So
but he didn't turn down wrestling Ric Flair because he didn't want to watch Ric Flair die.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, wait a minute. He has a defibrillator. I'm all set.
Oh yeah. Steamer
pacemaker,
rules.
yeah.
Steamer rules.
Oh, Steamboat.
Steamer's awesome.
The hot steamer.
Ugh.
Right next to your hot beefer.
They're not in Cleveland, are they?
So I guess it's just FTR versus Adam Cole and MJF, right? That's the last thing I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, so we had the Guns and Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Sorry. Rock Hard Juice Robinson. This is where we hear the Rickabone zone.
Oh, the Rickabone.
And Juice brings out a cardboard cutout of Jay White.
That was hilarious. That's right.
For my own personal reference, Ian Riccaboni references a Warren Zevon song on commentary. That made me happy.
Yep.
But the thing that I want to talk about most in this match, and it's a fine match, it's good enough. I think the Guns need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. Well.
But the entrance,
amazing,
where the camera's spinning and the Guns do their thing, and Juice is just like shaking his head like a madman because Juice Robinson makes everything better.
I'm so happy people were like coming around on Juice Robinson.
Right, we are early
everyone.
Juice Robinson adopters.
Yeah.
So
back when he was the Thundertaker.
Right, we liked the Thundertaker.
What a man.
Then we got Kira Hogan versus Mercedes Martinez.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't mind more Kira Hogan on my TV.
Sure, yes.
But the match isn't great.
No, it's not good.
Statlander comes out and Mercedes lays her out. Willow runs her off, so we're getting Stat Mercedes. The interesting thing about this is that, I would love to see because Tony Khan claims he has this stuff laid out in a spreadsheet and whatever for weeks and weeks. I would love to see the women's division spreadsheet.
Yes, please.
Before the Ty Valkyrie. What was that? Was it Britt?
Yeah.
No, what was that? Was
last
it Britt?
week? The terrible one?
Yeah. I want to see it before that, and I want to see it after that. Because they set up Tony Storm and Sheeta on Rampage.
Yep.
And then they do this, which sets up Mercedes Statlander, which should be a good match. Mercedes is a capable wrestler. Mm-hmm. And then mixing Willow into this fold. I'm like, what?
Where's that going to go?
That guy holding that sign, is that what pressured Tony? Or was it all the bad press? I would like to see how much he changed that fucking spreadsheet. But then we get the main event. I'm Better Than You, Baby versus FTR for the AEW tag titles.
It sure is.
The match that the whole world was waiting for.
I thought it was awesome, man.
It was really good.
Thought it rocked.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as like FTR versus Bullet Club Gold. Yeah. But I still thought it was awesome.
It was good. The funniest thing to me, and I like the end of this match, I like the post-match stuff a lot.
Awesome, yeah.
When Cole is like, it turns around because Max pushes Cole out of the way so he doesn't get beat, and then Max ends up getting rolled up, which makes me happy.
Yeah.
Pinned, or does he get rolled up? No.
I don't remember.
But whatever. But he gets pinned clean, and then Adam Cole's like, and Max like, I fucked up, and Cole's like, no, I did it. It's my fault. And he turns around and just goes, do what you got to do, because Max looks like he's gonna hit him with the belt.
Yeah.
And then they hug. I like all that stuff.
Yeah,
a lot.
he's just like, I knew it was coming. But do what you got to do.
If I'm FTR Bold, I'm super mad about this match.
Why?
Because Max's lifts in his boots
Jesus.
were just thick enough to make him taller than FTR bald when they were face to face, like half an inch. And like I was like, is Max actually taller? Is FTR this short? And then I was like, nope, FTR's in flat boots. FTR bald's in flat boots, and Max has his fucking high heels on.
Oh, Maxwell.
I'd be so mad when they do that face to face and Max's eyes are just a little bit. I was like, oh my God, FTR bald's gonna be so fucking mad about that.
I'll have to go back and look at his boots.
Yep. He's got big time lifts on in this match. But it is really good. The fans are really behind it.
It's a great storyline so far.
Yeah, and this is a good match. This is a good collision. We're still colliders
awesome.
here.
Absolutely.
So I also saved the rundown. Have you seen the wrestling percentages, like of how much wrestling is on TV? No. In the weeks or whatever?
I saw the tweet, but I didn't look.
Okay, hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm pretty sure I did. Let's see. Maybe I didn't. Terry Funk, that thing, Shida, that thing. You and me and you being Go Shiozaki and Nakajima.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it. But anyway, it is a ridiculous amount of
wrestling on Collision.
Of wrestling on Collision on all of AEW TV. Really,
the wrestling company, brother.
Yes. But I'm a collider. You're a collider.
Full blown.
And we're gonna collide. We're on a collision course with Forever. I don't know what that means.
I like it though.
Okay, good.
Dynamite.
Yes.
So I thought the opening match of Jericho and Takeshita against Garcia and Sammy, I thought the match was okay. I love the finish though, of Callis hitting Garcia with the bat and Jericho kind of looking at him like, what the fuck was that? Even yelling, what the fuck did you do that for on TV?
Right, but Jericho goes for the pin anyway.
Get the pin though, brother.
Right.
So yeah, I thought that's a nice little interesting wrinkle. And then later in the show, Daddy Magic walking up and being like, mandatory meeting next week. So see where they're going with that.
Same. Do you think if Jericho leaves the Jericho Appreciation Society, do they dissolve or do they continue to call themselves the Jericho Appreciation Society?
Yeah, who else are going to latch themselves to appreciate?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
A lot of twisted in the wind for a couple of those people if they don't have Jericho with them. So
yeah. So next here I have Mr. Jungle Jack.
Right. Well, we get the big AEW montage.
Yeah.
The two, because it is 200 episodes, and
sure is.
And when they have an anniversary, we're close to an anniversary.
That is true.
So within the end of the month, I looked. Our first official show, not the little preview thing we put out, but our first official show was the last week of August.
Wow, so
it'll be 4 years. Yep.
We're almost there, baby.
Almost time to hang it up.
4 years, that's when podcasts are supposed to end,
true.
right?
The good ones. Yeah. But yes, Jack, the Jack off Perry interview.
The Jackal Perry?
The Jackal Perry.
Yeah.
Jungle Jerk.
Yeah, Jungle Jerk. I love that Jerry Lynn apparently went to the Ricky Steamboat school of calling wrestlers only by their first acronym, like how Steamboat calls CM Punk CM, and he just calls him Jungle.
Yeah,
that made me laugh a lot. And this got speculated during the day.
Yeah, this wasn't a secret.
No, because out comes motherfucking Rob Van Dam to Walk by Pantera.
Not only in the arena though, the ECW style. They did not pipe it through the TV. It sounded a little lighter than that. Like, it was loud enough to hear it, but it was like ECW style where they didn't put it straight through the broadcast.
I heard it perfectly fine.
I heard it fine too.
Yeah.
But not as clear. To me, at least, it wasn't as clear as all the other ones. So I don't know if they put it through the feed, like the television, the broadcast feed.
Yeah.
I think they did it purposefully ECW style where they just played it in the arena for the TV to hear.
Oh.
But
see, I heard it clear as day. Yeah,
or it could just be a YouTube TV disaster.
It could be that. Yeah, dude, Rob Van Dam comes out to Walk, and I'm like, I'm so hyped.
Right.
It fired me up, man. Listen, 10-year-old Brett, his favorite wrestler was Rob Van Dam.
There you go.
Like, I remember me and I think there was a Twitter thing about that a while ago. It's like, who's your favorite wrestler when you were 10? And it was both me and Marcus. We were both like, Rob Van Dam.
There you go.
Fucking coolest. He's the coolest, man. I fucking love Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam. I mean, I had a Rob Van Dam t-shirt.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think, liked Rob.
He's the man.
He had the incredible TV title run, like the tag runs at the feud with
cool
Sabu.
shit.
Right, he's awesome. And it's funny because, like, I like RVD, and I've seen him still wrestle. He looks good for a 51, 52-year-old man. But I'm like, okay, RVD, whatever. It's fine. It's the only ECW guy you can get that can do anything.
It's true.
Worth a damn. And then I was like, but whatever, it's fine. I get it. And, hitting that nostalgia again. And we've had conversations on here and privately, like, the ECW, like, most wrestling fans, I think, that are going now, like, they remember the WWE ECW and not the real thing. And that's fine. It's just the nostalgia can walk, if you will. But then as soon as that music hit, I was like, I'm all in. Let's fucking go.
Dude, that's how I was too. Like, when that happened and then him and Jack, like, start, like, brawling a little bit. And when he throws the chair at Jack and he catches it, I went, oh.
So
I thought I was getting a fucking Van Daminator on my television.
I was like, when Rob came out, I was like, Rob Van Dam's cool, but he can't hit the kick anymore. He can't hit the spin kick. And then he did it, but then he crumpled to his knees. I was like, oh no, he tore a quad.
He pulled a Shane McMahon.
But he was just going for the chair.
Jerry Lynn just walks over to him and goes, you all right,
you right, cuz?
You all right, cuz?
Punches Snoop Dogg's a fucking legend.
Dude, that
you can have all your matches, you can have all your bloodline shit. The best thing to happen in the WWE the last 10 years is Snoop Dogg calling the rest of that thing with The Miz on the fly.
I feel like texting Marcus and be like, hey man, remember that time when that happened?
Yeah, right, cuz.
You all right, cuz?
Hey, it's a people's elbow. It's the craziest thing. Oh my god, I love Snoop Dogg so much. And just the fact that he had the wherewithal to do that and like not blow the fucking moment because Shane's fucking gonzo. Oh, what a moment in wrestling. All timer. Like, the Snoop Dogg. I'm amending my Mount Rushmore. I'm amending my Mount Rushmore. I'm adding a fifth head.
All right.
And it's Snoop Dogg because he fundamentally that day changed the wrestling business for the better.
You all right, cuz?
You all right, cuz?
You all right, cuz?
I've seen professional wrestlers not be able to fill in for fuck-ups as well as Snoop Dogg did. It was fucking amazing. I love it so much.
I just talked to Marcus. He might be sleeping, but I'm
Vince
sorry in advance,
McMahon,
pal.
Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair.
Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania this past year.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania.
My cut. After
best.
fucking piece of shit Shane McMahon gets blown up running to the ring, blows his whole quad out.
Both of them.
Oh my god.
Did he hit both of them at the same time? Did he hit a double like his old man?
I thought it was only one. Still, regardless, amazing.
Oh, the genetic jackhammer, but his Achilles, Achilles is apparently they're fucking genetically they're hammies can't hold up.
That fucking quad.
Oh, beautiful quads.
So speaking of beautiful things,
yes, RVD later calls Jungle Jack Jungle Jerk, and I'm upset that nobody else had thought of that.
After this, you get the three-way, like, no-holds-barred match.
Yes.
Trent versus Penta versus John Moxley.
Yes.
We have blood. We have tax.
Yeah, this is wonderfully violent.
It's so violent, dude.
I saw people in a certain race of a group talk about how, and this pops up, well, there's no story on this show. This is the 200th episode and there's no storylines.
Just fuck off.
And then on commentary, they're like, well, this is 3 AEW originals.
Yeah.
And I was like...
And the teams have all been kind of intertwined now for the last couple of weeks. So
I'm like, no, that's really cool itself, just that these three guys have been there for so long.
Yeah.
And this is wonderfully violent. For whatever reason, Moxley kept bumping himself on the tack for every move he was to set up.
He's a fucking crazy man.
He really is. And out of nowhere, Trent gets the win.
Right, after the Psycho knee.
Which is pretty awesome. Giving him the win. And, it leads a little bit later on to the challenge of the parking lot fight.
Yeah, because Chuck and OC run out to save Trent from getting beat down by Blackpool Combat Club. And Chuck's on the mic and says, we'll see you next week in a goddamn parking lot.
Yeah.
Or on Rampage, actually.
Is it Rampage?
I think it is.
I know. Didn't they say they were doing it in Jacksonville? Because they're not in Jacksonville anymore.
I think you just said like we did at Daly's place.
I'm into it.
Unless they went and filmed in Jacksonville.
Maybe that'd be weird.
Next thing I have is the Cole MJF little promo.
Yeah.
MJF stuff was fine. It's nothing like it's nothing like I don't know. It's fine.
His pre-tapes are so much better.
They are. I agree.
My worry seeing that he was having a live promo comes true every time. His live promos aren't great, and he says too many words, and he tries to be too funny. Like when he says, like, although I like you, filleting me on TV, it's like, come on, dude, just be quiet and let stuff breathe. But yeah, I didn't love this. It was fine. But like the other stuff they've been doing, I've really liked, and this one I'm like, okay, it's whatever. Yeah. He has the contract thing, and I don't think the crowd reacted to it that well.
I don't think so either. When they're like, oh, the main event at All In, and the crowd's like, okay,
yeah, and like I know they said that they were going to do this, and I like that as an idea, and I hope so. This is all where the payoff is, right? We gotta wait and see with this one, but like I hope they don't ride this all the way out as a Wembley tribute, because Brett Bulldog were two baby faces in the main event. And I'm worried they're like, well, we'll do that as a tribute, and people will be like talking about how it's this throwback, and that's great. But and I know the instinct is to stretch this out because it is getting over really well.
It is,
but I think before Wembley, you have to decidedly flip one or the other, at least by the end of the match.
Yeah,
but there has to be some tension. You cannot do, in my opinion, a straight up babyface versus babyface, let the better man win match at main event of Wembley between these two guys.
So something that I saw like circulating Twitter today, I feel like it's just like grasping at nothing.
Okay.
They showed the side-by-side clip of Adam Cole from NXT, the way he hugged Roderick Strong.
Okay.
The same way he hugged Max, and they said like his one hand is like his fist is closed.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, when he does the motion, it's him stabbing him in the back. And I'm like, okay.
Or that's just how Adam Cole gives hugs.
That's just how he gives hugs. And I'm like, all right, say that was like legit. Number one, man, that's really fucking nerdy for people to realize that. Number two, that's such a tiny little subtle thing that I'll look back and go, ooh, I really like that. Yeah, my favorite part of this was the Roderick Strong freak out.
Right.
Brother, why are you so mad?
Well, he's mad because he read the booking sheet and said they're going to put him back with the Kingdom.
He's so
I'd be
pissed.
mad too.
He was like ultra level pissed.
He was.
Fuck yeah, Robbie.
But yeah, so I think you got to get that more involved. I don't need to see them have another match until Wembley. I don't need to see them tag up. Like, get back to the fun pre-tapes and then start showing some cracks on either side.
Yeah.
Because like right now, for how big Wembley is, and they're saying they're less than 2,000 tickets away from the all-time record. Max, Adam Cole.
That's not a main event.
It's not the main event.
No, it's not.
Especially because I don't think that Adam Cole is your next world champion. I don't think AEW Adam Cole has shown us that he should be champion. I like Adam Cole.
I do want to see him lift up that big belt.
Right.
It'd be real funny.
Right, and I'm not like, and I always bust your balls about it, but like I'm not making fun of him for his size or anything.
Of course not.
But like I don't think that Adam Cole is the guy to win it. So like that doesn't seem like a main event to me.
Not to me either.
The main event of Wembley should be Kenny Omega versus CM Punk, but but we'll see what happens. But yeah, right now they could turn it around, but right now that doesn't feel like the main event.
Yeah, it doesn't light my world on fire.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yes.
After this, I have the 6-man.
My notes say Roddy freaks out, and now Matt Taven is here. Fuck.
Well, it's accurate.
Yes.
So the Elite.
Yeah.
Brother, I don't even remember who they wrestled.
What?
Who they wrestled?
Jeff Jarrett and company. This is like the best thing to happen all night,
right.
dude.
Dude, I've watched a lot of wrestling this week. That's right. It was Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett, Satnam, and Jay Lethal. Sorry.
Then Jarrett and Jay Lethal and Satnam, they do the Bucks
the
and
fucking pose.
do the
How
Elite
can I
pose.
forget
and it's fucking perfect. This match was crazy good for what it was. Satnam, when he tags in and the one Buck is in the ring and he walks over to him and like looks down and the Buck goes to tag out and Kenny and the other Buck both get off the apron. They're like, no.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Satnam could really be, like, if they use him like this, he really could be that attraction they need him to be.
When Kenny goes to lift him up for the one-winged angel, I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Right. Insane. I really, really like this match. I think
it was a lot of fun.
I think it's a lot of fun for what it is. And Jarrett knows how to get the most out of Little here. And of course they're not going to win.
I liked when Jarrett, I like the beginning of the match where Jarrett like out chain wrestles Omega and just starts Fargo strutting.
Yeah.
God, he fucking rules.
So we get Jarrett, Kenneth Omega there because they're teasing Jarrett Grotto or Grado.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to know who Grado is.
Well, they will over in the UK.
Right, but you're trying to sell pay-per-views around the world.
Yeah, I know.
I guess with Jarrett it doesn't really matter because that's just the sort of the draw of him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I would maybe bring Grado in and have him bring somebody in to face Jarrett and have him be there to fuck around. But
Drew McIntyre.
Sure.
Yeah, so there was a big brawl after this. Mm-hmm. I remember the Hardys ran out, and I'm like, please go away.
Yeah.
But really the more important thing was afterwards, Omega's on the mic, says they've resigned and everything. Says you'll be seeing us a lot more on Rampage and Dynamite. And he goes, hell, even on Collision.
Ooh.
And I'm like, all right.
Maybe. We'll see.
Let's make that happen.
When Punk goes on vacation.
There's a taping coming up where they're taping Collision after Dynamite.
Really? Why?
Don't know.
That's weird.
But it's going to be taped right after
Are they
Dynamite.
doing a live Rampage, or is it going to be a 19-hour fucking taping?
Maybe there's no Rampage.
Maybe.
I'm not mad.
Just run a rerun from 3 months ago. Nobody will know,
Yeah,
nobody will know the difference anyway.
Fucking difference, exactly. Show like your first episode again.
This is the best of Robin Renegade and just walk away.
God damn it. So after this,
yes,
honestly, is my favorite part of the night.
We watched the murder of Nick Wayne.
Dude, this was so fucking awesome.
It's like watching The Strangers.
Dude, all right, thank you. I'm so happy you said that because Swerve, I've been saying it for forever. He's the coolest motherfucker out there. This time, dude, he was like legit scary.
Yeah, for sure.
This was like real world, like thug shit.
Yeah,
like when
they should have bought better fake blood. But
when he said, "What up, turds?" I love that. But, dude, they beat the fuck out of Nick Wayne and just the blood everywhere.
Yes.
And making him open his phone. Like, that's some shit out of, like a movie.
It's creepy. Yeah,
that's
for sure.
That's fucking creepy. And, like, his Swerve laughing at the end.
And A.R. Fox, a good fit for this.
Dude, great fit.
Good fit for this. Dare I say the most personality A.R. Fox has ever had.
You're not wrong. Swerve is incredible.
Absolutely.
I want that guy pushed to the fucking moon.
The interesting thing about Swerve and depending on no matter what Lufisto tells you online, though, we don't really know the inner workings of like backstage and who comes up with what and who's writing what and who's all booking and whatever. But like Swerve does this thing where like I would say 90% of his time on TV, he's elevating his status and place on TV.
Like the old saying, he maximizes his minutes.
It's not that he hasn't had misses. It's not that I'm like, it wasn't the best thing for Swerve to do here. But like 90% of the time, he's elevating his position on these shows and his status within the company. And that is super impressive. So every time I see him, I'm like, well, what's Swerve going to do now? And you're like, oh, shit. So I don't know if he's coming up with this stuff, or if there's a producer, an agent, or if Tony has this shit, or these are ideas that somebody else is bringing first Swerve. I don't know how it works. If it's Swerve coming up with these ideas with Nick Wayne and Darby, like, then they're all fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And they're maybe the only, right now, sort of group of people involved in a storyline on AEW TV that every time they're on TV, almost every time they're on TV, they're elevating themselves. Because even MJF and Cole, like the MJF promo, like it wasn't bad, but didn't elevate this program in any way.
Probably
and
like
this stepped this program up.
Probably them and like Blackpool Combat Club. Yeah. Every time they're on TV, it's just like they make their minutes mean something.
Right.
And Dude, I fucking love Swerve Strickland. He is so goddamn good. Speaking of so goddamn good,
Yes.
Aussie Open against Commander and El Hijo del Vikingo.
Wearing matching gear like an actual tag team.
I love it.
So I hope that becomes a thing.
That would be sick.
I think that's a better use for both of those guys than just having them wrestle each other and then whatever. Like, let's see some cool tag team lucha stuff.
Dude, this worked out so well because Aussie Open looked like giants compared to them.
Yes. And they are big guys. I mean, they're over 6'5", both of them, I think.
Yeah, and their offense, Aussie Open's offense, looked brutal.
Yeah.
You know? But then when Vikingo and Commander got rolling, doing all the lucha shit, it looked awesome.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
I love when Aussie Open caught them on the dives on the outside, did that run across the outside and hit their backs off each other.
I love that spot, yeah.
So awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Aussie Open, I love
Adam, block your ears for
I'm sorry, Adam. I really am. I can't help it.
I love them. And we're their muses. So
Yeah, we are.
did you see, I read a thing today from one of the wrestle sites, whatever. It was like a 10 matches prediction for Wembley, like what the card's going to be. And I didn't like it at all. I think it was really dumb and bad. But they predicted Aussie Open versus FTR.
Make it happen.
And like, while I don't, if you do that, you can't do it for any belts. Or maybe you do it for the main AEW belts and Aussie loses. But I'm not going to say no about that that match again. Those guys tore it up every time.
I know there's also the talk of FTR Young Bucks.
Oh boy.
So main event.
Yes.
Hey?
Yes.
Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's title.
Indeed.
First of all, I'm so happy you did that. First of all, my utmost respect to both women.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Fantastic competitors.
Tons of respect.
Yep.
I would not walk out on their matches like that fucking lady at Ring of Honor.
Right.
I thought the match was really good. Some people were saying, "Oh, Toni Storm was boo-boo facing like during the match." She wasn't.
No, I don't think so. I didn't notice them on that.
You know, Shida gets the win.
Yeah.
Shida wins that belt back. This is the 200th episode of Dynamite. Shida was a staple for this company during the pandemic.
Yes. She is the Britt can say whatever she wants, but Shida is the most consistent female wrestler they have.
Yeah, and you know, somebody pointed out it felt like last night, like with Shida getting the win and then Trent getting the win in the match, like the 3-way. It was kind of like, hey, thanks for getting us through some shit.
And we've been waiting, and you and I talked about that for a long time, and especially with them running back this parking lot brawl. Like,
I loved how much they showed it last night.
That parking lot brawl was one of, if not the best thing they did during the pandemic era.
Yep, I agree.
And nobody got any credit for it.
No.
The Proud and Powerful, who I've heard rumors are back and on good terms. We'll see. Healthy.
Let's hope.
They didn't get anything for it.
No.
Chucky and Trent didn't get anything for it. And that match rocked.
I still say both teams are long overdue for a tag title run.
Absolutely. I don't know that you can recapture lightning in a bottle. Maybe you can. I would not that I mean, of course, I love the Best Friends, but if given the opportunity, I would love to see Proud and Powerful come back hot and get those titles.
Too. God, I would,
because they were so good.
Yep.
You know, do it. Have them, if they are healthy, this is a pipe dream. Do that and fucking Arthur Ashe too.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
And have them win and have Eddie win.
But now you're fucking talking, baby.
But yeah, Shida is the most consistent member of their women's roster, and the fans have been behind her since day one. She's been my favorite female wrestler in that company since day one. Like, I love her. I think she's great.
She's phenomenal.
And she's gotten better too. She has noticeably gotten better from the time she started there through now. She lays her shit in. Her gear is always on point. And the fans are really behind her, and it's emotional. And I even got a little emotional when she won, because I was like, she does, like, because Toni Storm said that thing on Rampage, like, oh, you're the pandemic champion and we're all glad it's over. Like, she didn't get her time.
No.
You know, just like Drew McIntyre didn't get his time either. That was the hardest time for professional wrestlers to be wrestlers.
Yeah. You know, there's some wrestlers where they're like, oh, it made us feel like we had to work harder. And then there's guys like Mox and Will Ospreay, where Mox is like, No, that shit sucked.
Right.
And Will Ospreay, where he's always been like, no, I fucking hated wrestling in front of clap crowds.
Right.
I hated it.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
that's not what we do this for, you know?
And for Sheeta to get her flowers here
So awesome.
is awesome. I hope we get a Sheeta, a new Sheeta in the new gear with because it's a newer belt too.
It is, yeah.
I have my first Sheeta. I didn't buy like that second exclusive Sheeta.
Nah, me neither. I love that first Sheeta figure.
That first Sheeta is one of the best figures they still have ever made.
Yeah.
Give me one in the new gear with the women's belt, with the kendo stick.
Absolutely.
Singapore cane. And I'll buy a second Sheeta figure. Yeah. I really, really do like Sheeta. This match is very good. These two are two of the best. And again, I'd like to see that run sheet before that Taya Valkyrie match and see if you were flipping this here or were you like, okay, we're resetting.
I think if they do a hard reset, I think it's smart.
I think you have the Outcasts fall out from this.
That never there was no payoff there.
It never caught on, and it was meant to be the Outcast versus Britt and Hayter and somebody else.
Like the originals.
And
it just never caught on.
Hayter there is not back for Wembley and isn't going to. Some people are saying not even by the end of the year.
That's a huge blow.
So you can't just have the Outcast twist in the wind till then. Everything you had has to be scrapped.
Yeah.
And, so you can still break them off in individual feuds.
You can.
I don't know that you're going to have Saraya wrestle at any point, but you can put Tony off onto Britt.
Saraya will wrestle at Wembley.
Right. Yeah, well, of course. But I think you reset, you bust them up over the next couple of weeks with, with promos and whatever because they lost. And, they'll break apart that way. And you reset this division. Make some new alliances. Bring some people in you're not using, and start putting on good women's matches. That's all we need. Like, storylines are great. People want more storyline. I completely understand that. But if a good storyline for women's wrestling is still going to suck if the matches are garbage. I don't care if you're winning an Oscar and then you show me Taya Valkyrie Britt Baker match. I'm not going to be happy. No. I'm not going to be like, well, at least the story was good.
Nope.
I need good matches and good story. And if personal opinion, of course, but if I'm only getting one of the two sometimes, I'll take good matches.
Yeah.
So if you can't come up with a good story, still have somebody come and wrestle on Emi Sakura.
Yeah.
Like, give me some good matches. Bring in some stardom. Like we had talked sort of off air about them resetting the division and how I was talking to Michelle about how they, about how WWE turned the tides by overpaying for Hulk Hogan and how AEW is going to have to overpay for somebody or somebodies to elevate the company beyond what they are and start to become a competitive market against the juggernaut that is WWE.
So I know we were having a conversation. I didn't bring this up. But, what do you think if they land Mercedes Moné?
So I was thinking about this.
Is that a shift?
I don't think it's big enough.
Okay.
Because I don't know that she has enough competition that's worth keeping eyes on that division, right? I think if she wasn't hurt, I think she would have already been here, at least on a one-off or two. Okay. I don't know if she would have been signed, but she would have made a deal. But I think she's definitely going to be there. What else does she have to do?
I still want to know what happened when they teased her.
Yes.
And I just...
Right. It could be a money thing. And Tony Khan's going to have to overpay for some people, right? Yeah. But with Vince pulling women off of SummerSlam, and, I don't know that there's a man on the WWE roster that is a big enough pull that Tony Khan can pay for that will turn the tides any more than he already has, right? I think as far as ripping WWE stars over this company, not that they were ripped, but Jericho and Moxley are pretty fucking big.
Sure.
And that's about all you're going to get. Miro's a good mid-card guy, but you're not getting Roman, you're not getting Seth, Cody ain't coming back. If they could pay Brock Lesnar enough, but that ain't happening. No. And that's the way Vince has cultivated his company, right? But I think these women you could get. And I think if AEW can keep Britt, keep your foundation, but get Mercedes in there, get one or two other women who can fucking go from this division that there's nothing for them in WWE anymore, or they've already done everything they can in WWE. Get Rhea Ripley, overpay Rhea Ripley in 2 years or whatever her contract is up, and if Buddy is still there, overpay like crazy to get her. That's what Vince does.
She's only 26.
Vince overpaid Cody like a madman to get him there.
Well, he flew down to Cody's
right, but you have to do right. So overpay and start resetting that division now. and bring in fucking Tam Nakano, but get Julia on a 3-month deal over here. Start talking to talk to Stardom, talk to Tokyo Joshi Pro, and say like, how would you like a 3-month run over here? Do you have anybody here that wants to go on excursion?
Yeah.
And start you doing it that way too. And they don't have to be here long term, but give us better matches.
I agree.
Because that's the foundation of your company. If the wrestling on your TV, I saw WWE, like, Raw's a 3-hour show, and last month or whatever, they had it's a 3-hour show, and they averaged like 43 minutes of wrestling in ring on that whole show. And like AEW is like a 2-hour show, and they're averaging like 50 to an hour and 15. Yeah. Like, give us good wrestling and you can really turn this shit around. The Tai Valkyrie shit ain't doing it, so you got to look elsewhere. Sign some talent.
So SmackDown,
you have wrestlers. You have good wrestlers. Trish Adora is right fucking there.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Emi Sakura is right there.
SmackDown, I forgot to mention this. I did see the end of it. It was Bianca and Charlotte Flair who were in a triple threat against Asuka at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
They had a match against the new women's tag champs, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Okay.
There was what's her face? Bianca had Chelsea Green up for the KOD. Mm-hmm. Charlotte tags in, hits Chelsea with a big boot on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Waits like 10 seconds because she's telling Bianca to get out of the ring, whatever.
Yeah.
Walks over, pins her, 1, 2, 3. And I'm like,
are they new tag champs then?
yeah, no.
Oh.
This is a non-title match.
Oh.
But I'm like,
so you just buried your tag champs.
yeah. I'm like, you guys never gave a fuck about those belts.
No.
But like to just have them get so buried that way.
Right. And
like that sucks.
Right. And there's, listen, you'll never get Charlotte.
Poor
Or maybe you will.
Chelsea.
I mean, Charlotte's husband is there.
There's talk about.
But it'd be tough.
Let's talk about Charlotte and Andrade.
Right. But like,
apparently they unfollowed each other on social media.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
That's the talk.
Oh, yeah. Who's gonna be giving him blowies on boats now? So,
go on.
Right.
But shut up.
But like Becky has, what else is Becky Lynch to do there? Like the WrestleMania dreams happen for most of these women.
I think Becky's getting pulled off SummerSlam.
I think overpaying for someone like Becky Lynch and having Sasha there too, it would be a really good step at drawing some ratings and turning this company around.
Yeah.
But like I said, to get back to where we were, Shida winning the title's a good step, and I like it.
It's fucking awesome, man. I
do
agree.
And I did find this website with the 10 predicted Wembley matches. MJF Adam Cole, of course, we know that, right? Where are we at here? Next page. What's that about? Hold on. FTR Aussie Open. I said that. CM Punk Jay White.
Yeah.
It could work. Depends on what they get going.
I know they've kind of been teasing it.
It'd be great. Ospreay Chris Jericho. We pretty much know that's happening, unfortunately. House of Black versus La Facción Ingobernables. Andrade Il Dieselo. Roosh and Drolistico. That would kick some butt.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I would like that for sure. Darby Allin, Sting, Nick Wayne, and Keith Lee versus Swerve Strickland, AR Fox, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, gets everybody on.
I would like the Darby Allin, Sting, and Nick Wayne versus Swerve Strickland, AR Fox, and like Brian Cage or something. Prince Nana. That'll work.
Sting versus Nana.
Yes. Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, and Sky Blue versus the Outcasts, which I guess I could see happening, but put Willow in there instead. The Elite versus Takeshita and question marks.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Blackpool Combat Club versus Death Triangle. That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
Statlander versus Willow. I wouldn't do that because Willow's gonna win that title then.
2 baby faces, too.
Right. And then Orange Cassidy, Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes.
Which should happen, and that's it. So,
all right,
we'll see what happens. I don't agree with all of those, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, you know what I do want to do right now?
What do you want to do?
Is your bag packed?
It's always packed.
Let's go. Take a trip. Hit the road.
Hey, look at us. Back in Japan.
Yeah.
Are we anywhere else this week?
No, you didn't scare me at all. Not at all. I didn't jump when you just did that.
Oh, did
Not
you?
At all. I did. Yep.
What do we got? 3 nights? 4 nights? 3 nights? 2 nights?
I have Tokyo Joshi Pro.
Okay. Yes, but 3 nights at the G1, right?
10,
11, and 12.
Technically 2 nights for me.
Okay.
Because one night was fucking awful.
Well,
It's
yes.
It's sorry, did.
Mm-hmm.
So Tokyo Joshi Pro, the Princess Cup quarterfinals.
Yes.
This was run at Korakuen. This was not a one camera show. I watched 3 out of the 4 matches. The one I didn't watch was Miyu Yamashita. She did win. She beat somebody. But I just didn't watch it.
Interesting.
I watched Yuki Arai versus Arusa Endo. Yuki Arai got the win over Arusa Endo.
Yeah.
I really like Arusa Endo. I think that she's going to be a big player moving forward for Tokyo Joshi Pro. She throws a sick camel clutch.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Is her nickname Smokin'?
It fucking should be now. I also had Yuki Kama Fuck You against Miyu Watanabe.
Yeah.
Do you know who Miyu Watanabe is? Do you remember her?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, she does like all the weird her face is super close in the camera on her entrance, and she's like throwing up gang signs or whatever.
Yeah, I remember.
Or whatever cute K-pop shit she's doing. Sure. Well, she loses. Yuki Kama Fuck You wins. The Denim Queen herself. Moving on. And then the main event, which up until a certain G1 match, this was my Japanese match of the week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. The White Dragon, Rika Tatsumi.
Yeah. This is the one I really meant to watch this today, and I got lost in the sauce. But
Against Shoko Nakajima.
yeah.
I didn't used to like Rika Tatsumi. I didn't get it.
Okay.
And then she had that match a couple months ago, and I went, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
I still get it.
Okay,
Rika
good.
Tatsumi fucking
Yeah, I like Rika.
rocks.
Yeah.
She wins with the Dragon Sleeper, and so she has it cranked in. And then so she has it cranked in, and then she turns Nakajima on her stomach
Yeah.
and is cranking back.
Like in almost a camel clutch like position.
Dude, it was
Seen it
so
before, yeah.
fucking gross.
Cool. Good.
And Tatsumi won. So the semifinals are soon. They didn't announce the order or anything yet. So more on that. Again, if there's women's wrestling that you like, it's very easy to find good women's wrestling.
For sure. It's out there. Did you watch any of the Tokyo Joshi Pro Summer Athletic Park match?
No, I did not.
Did you see what it is?
No. Is it like a obstacle course?
So, it is... Losing is not an option. At Lake Sagami Pleasure Forest, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling will hold street pro wrestling matches. Wrestlers will be divided into red team and white team and compete in a best-of-5 showdown. A special prize will be given to the winning team.
Okay.
So this is...
I didn't think I watched this because this was a pay-per-view.
Yes, but it's up until the end of October on the thing.
Okay.
Sales of the pay-per-view has ended. This pay-per-view video is not purchasable.
Yeah.
Okay. Super weird thing to exist. That now I see here that it was it's up, but I can't click it or anything. All right. Yeah, weird. Yeah, I like Tokyo Joshi Pro, but I don't know that I'm ever going to pay for a Tokyo Joshi Pro pay-per-view.
Yeah,
you ain't Stardom good.
No. And it's good, but you ain't Stardom good.
Right.
Even though I saw there were a couple Stardom 5-star Grand Prix shows this week.
Right, we skipped them. That one night appararly was dog shit. Yeah.
There's no good matches, so whatever.
Yeah,
saving us time because we are coming to an end of the Grade 1 Climax 33.
And almost at the beginning of the N1.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. So the G1 Climax 33.
Yes.
There were 3 shows this week. Night 10. Listen, I've watched every match so far. Mm-hmm. I'm to the point where I'm gonna watch every match.
Yeah, you're a dangerous man.
Night 10 did fucking nothing for me.
So
I was up with my dog Dwicky, my early morning ride or die.
Yeah.
And both of us were like, nah.
Yeah.
Just this day did nothing for us.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, and so I've done an amazing thing thanks to the Discord. I haven't had a single match spoiled for me, I don't think. maybe one.
Do you mute the thread? Like
No, I
notifications?
just don't look. I don't have notifications on.
Oh, okay.
I don't do any
fine.
notifications on my phone.
Good.
When I know there's a G1 in the morning and I see all the messages in the live,
Okay.
I just don't go.
Okay, good.
Until I've watched it.
Yeah.
Or until there's stuff like in the middle of the day and I just don't go back any further, right? So like, I've watched something every day, so I didn't want to skip 10 completely, even though he said I could. So I did watch the Eddie.
Yeah, because you texted me and I was just
Yeah,
like, there's nothing worth watching.
So I did watch Eddie Nichols, Eddie versus Nichols, and it was okay at best. Sadly, the crowd stunk, but like you said to me, they weren't given anything to be excited about.
No. And
the camera work was so tight on this match that you actually heard them call the match. Like, I audibly heard multiple spots called. I heard the finish called. Like, I heard what the finish was going to be, and all right, go home. Like, I heard Inzaguri call. Like, everything was Inzaguri to DDT. Like, all, like, you heard this match called, which stinks.
Yeah.
But I did watch because I wanted to watch Eddie. I said I'm going to watch because of, like you said, you've watched everything already. I was like, well, I've watched at least one thing from every night, which is pretty big for G1 for me. So I didn't want to skip an Eddie match. And this one he was in a Kawada shirt, which I liked. But yeah, not great. Nope. That's the only one I watched. And it was still fine. It's Eddie. I still like watching him wrestle. And the match was okay. Not bad, just okay. But I didn't watch anything else because you told me everything else was stinky doo-doo.
Yes. So that takes us to night 11.
Night 11 and 12, though.
So night 11
they had some stuff.
Night 11 is where I feel it's not getting enough credit because of the booking decisions.
Yes.
When we say to watch something, it's strictly off match quality.
Right.
Right. Listen, I don't agree with Willow losing to Athena at ROH.
Right.
Doesn't take away from it being an amazing match, though.
Right, absolutely. And so the other thing, the other wrinkle in this before we get into it is with the match rankings for this, right? We all got thrown some curveballs these last two nights.
And that's the G1, man.
And I said this kind of when we first did our predictions on air, but like if you'd be better at predicting if you went and matched everything up by day.
Yeah.
Because
we didn't do
because
that.
the G1 needs to be like the way they book it, and it's rightfully so.
Absolutely.
Nothing is decided until the last night for every block. Finally, because if it was, what's the point of if somebody's eliminated?
What's the point of the
4
match?
weeks in? What's the point of your fucking match then? If two guys are eliminated, if it's one guy eliminated, he can at least play spoiler. But if two guys are eliminated,
there's no point.
What's the point, right? Let's say Hanare Ishii. If that block's decided, what's the point of that match? And then the wrestlers don't have to put an effort. The fans aren't going to get engaged. So that's where these last two nights of 8 matches, double block nights, some of these weird finishes come in because they need to set stuff up for those last 4 nights because a lot of the blocks are in really weird spots right now. So
and we'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
But so night 11,
yes.
I had Hikuleo versus Kaito Kiyomiya.
Yes, me too.
Hikuleo's wrestling like a big guy.
Good.
And he's laying his shit in.
Good.
That choke slam at the end was sick.
It was sick.
Loved it.
Yeah, he shouldn't have won,
finish.
but he did.
But he won.
Right.
He beats Kaito.
As you said when I texted you, you said that the Samoans must have something on Gato.
Yeah, dude. There was going to be a decision yesterday where if somebody won, I was like, okay, they really do.
Yeah.
But Great Okan versus Yoshihashi.
Yes.
Okan looked like a mean motherfucker.
The finish of this looked good too.
Yeah.
The claw, the slam.
The Dominator, he calls it. Yeah.
Right. It's not the Dominator I know, but...
Oh, that's true. But it looked awesome,
yes. Right.
Even when he puts that head and arm choke on in the beginning, I'm like, oh no, he's going to just choke him out.
Right.
This is fucked up.
Yeah.
But Great Okan beats Yoshihashi.
And both guys are eliminated here.
Officially, yes.
Yoshihashi, the surprise of this entire tournament, turning hearts. Turning hearts left and right. His face, though, ain't turning nothing but my stomach.
I was just going to say, turning my stomach, brother.
Go back to Lawson's.
You're done.
I will fucking kill you.
So the next one, Sonata versus Gabe Kidd.
Yes.
Sonato gets the win. Sonata's perfect.
Right. You hear that, Ed?
Yeah.
You hear that? Not only is
He's
he
perfect.
not only is he had not lost in the G1, but he's also perfect, Ed. He's perfect, Ed.
What a perfect guy.
Ed, he's perfect.
I like this a lot, though, man.
I thought this was really good.
Yeah.
Gabe Kidd gets a lot of shit. But he had that really great match against Eddie that we didn't get to see the rematch of.
Yeah.
Him
and Kiyomiya, that brawl that they had earlier in the tournament.
Kidd immediately using weapons in this match. And I think it's really good. I love the punch to crotch shot sell.
Yes.
Where the guy's trying to cheat and he lays the guy out, and when he sells back, the foot goes up and hits him in the crotch. Taguchi did it in at Ring of Honor. Sonata does it here, and it sort of sets up the end. This was a real good match. Gabe Kidd is doing a Conor McGregor thing is kind of stupid.
That annoys me.
But
his shtick annoys me.
Yeah,
but his ring
but
work
when motivated, he's really good. I like Gabe Kidd. He hits hard and he wrestles tough. So
a lot of people are saying, maybe he should be the leader of the Bullet Club.
No.
Next match.
Yes.
Huge Suge.
Yep.
Going up against the Shooter.
Right.
So the way that the new claimed Three Musketeers have been going, the booking's been kind of weird.
Yes.
This was kind of weird.
This is the only straight win, right?
Yeah. For Suji to beat Shooter straight up.
Right.
Match was
really good.
Fantastic.
Well, and again, talking about like setting things up for the final night, if Shooter won here, Huge Suge would be eliminated.
Yeah.
And they don't want that until the last day.
Suge is still alive, baby.
So Suge does win. Shooter reverses a spear with a double stomp, which was crazy cool in this match. And then he does like the Suge wins with the push off into the spear, and it was gross. I like Shooter more. But Suge is very good.
That's my guy. It's the next leader of LIJ you're looking at.
Probably. He is haunting when he smiles. It's like hypnotizing and also off-putting.
Dwicky said he could see him being like a villain in a horror movie.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
For sure. Very awkward.
Right.
looking.
Just cover the rest of his face and just show that smile. You'll get freaked out for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then the main event, Okada versus Kenta.
Yes.
I saw a lot of people saying, this is still washed Kenta. This sucked. I didn't think it sucked. I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, this was good.
Dude, when Kenta throws those overhand rights, it's so good.
That my first note is that his looping right always looks great.
Yeah.
If this isn't Osprey Kenta that we got a couple weeks ago.
Of course not.
But this is really fucking good.
Yeah.
I liked it. Okada wins, of course. I like Kenta being wrestling desperate, right?
Yes.
Because it's almost as if he acknowledges that he's not as good as he was.
I agree with that.
And the fans know he's not, so he wrestles out of desperation. He takes more advantage of things. He tries to cheat more and, get guys outside.
The Singapore cane.
Right, like he tries to do all that kind of stuff. I wish he was better. But I appreciate the fact that he's acknowledged, because, like, listen, there's a guy, I don't know that we've talked about him once in this G1, in Tanahashi. We haven't. Right. And, like, Tanahashi's a guy, I love Tanahashi. When I see Tanahashi, like, my heart sings. I love that man. When I, like, when we seen him live, I'm like, oh my God, there's fucking Tanahashi. It's crazy. But, like, when I watch him wrestle, I'm like, all you got to do is just take, like, 3 things out of your moveset, and you can extend get a couple years and be an effective wrestler.
The problem is, though, if Tanahashi doesn't do those moves,
right?
Is it Tanahashi?
Right. But he doesn't. You're right. But the thing is, Kenta has been able to adjust his style. Tanahashi hasn't. And you're right. In like circumstances are definitely different.
Yeah.
But I would rather watch washed but wrestling from underneath desperate Kenta than
I agree with that 100%.
Than struggling Tanahashi most nights.
So on this night, I didn't bring it up because I was fucking so confused again by booking.
Mm-hmm.
Tonga Loa beats Will Ospreay.
Oh yeah, that's this night. I didn't watch that match.
So
it was a count out, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Tonga Loa hits him with a spear on the floor at like 18 seconds, then he rolls back in and gets a count out.
Okay.
And I was texting you and just being like, so Ospreay finally beats Okada.
Yep.
Finally beats him in the G1. Cuts that great promo at the end about like, you don't need 3 Musketeers. I got you. Crowd is loving him.
Yeah.
and then you have him lose like the next night to Tonga Loa. What?
It's a bad decision.
Like,
it's weird.
What? I understand with the mapping it out. I get it, but like,
yeah,
come on, dude.
That to me just does feel like a shock for shock's sake.
Yeah,
you know.
And then could I also say, I believe I got scoffed at. When I said Toru Yano was going to beat Jeff Cobb.
You probably did, and he does, doesn't he?
He sure did.
Cobb got Yano'd.
Cobb got Yano'd,
Didn't
brother.
Yano win twice in these 2 days?
I think he's won twice, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So night 12, we'll
Yes.
move on to night 12.
Yes.
Hanare
Yesterday morning.
versus Tomohiro Ishii.
Yes.
When this starts, you just know we're going to get two dudes beating the goddamn shit out of each other.
Yes.
And DJ, we get two dudes beating the goddamn shit
Absolutely.
out of each other. It's a rock.
I have 2 things up front. One, Kevin Kelly on commentary says that Hanare and Ishii are 2 almost identical fighters, and I feel that that is an underrepresentation of how good Ishii is and the things that he does and what he gets out of what he does in that ring. I think, and I'm not saying this is a slight to Hanare. I'm saying that that is a gross underappreciation of how much. I want to say real estate, but that's not the right word. But like how much Ishii gets out of what little that he does, or when he does little, like it's such an underrepresentation. They're both brawlers. They're both tough guys, and they both hit hard.
Style,
But like Ishii, head and shoulders above Hanare. That being said, this match does rule. Second thing, Hanare has his like neck and stuff all taped up. And Kevin Kelly on commentary says, like, well, we also know that Ishii's beat up, from these matches and his style. But he says, but Ishii doesn't do tape. And Ishii doesn't do tape is the new Terry Funk don't wear no mouthpiece.
Terry Funk ain't wear no mouthpiece. Ishii ain't wear no tape.
Ishii doesn't do tape.
All right,
is the new Terry Funk don't wear no mouthpiece.
I like it. I can fuck with that.
He's beat up, but he's like, fuck you. I don't need anything taped. I don't need knee pads.
Yeah.
You go to hell.
Yeah, you go to hell and you die.
Hanare's liver punch is so crazy and sickening.
Man.
And I like this match a lot.
Yeah.
But like, did Ishii fuck Gato's sister and not call her back? I don't. Did Ishii fuck Gato's mom and not call her back?
Mother, yeah.
Did Ishii fuck Gato's dad and not call him back? I don't know what's going on. Did Ishii fuck Gato and not call him back?
Did Ishii fuck Jado in front of
Right.
Gato? What happened
I don't
there?
know what's going on. But for Ishii to only get 2 points in this fucking G1, I don't know who he's finishing up
Did he
against.
only have 2 points last year, too?
I think so.
Oh, God.
He might finish with 4, but like this is a guy that these crowds would legit go crazy for if he was making it through these blocks.
Yeah,
and into the finals. People would go nuts for him.
Yeah.
And he is still the most consistent guy in your G1, right? When you watch an Ishii match, you're getting a good match.
You know it's going to be a banger.
And the fans love him, and he's a banger, and he meshes with everybody he fucking wrestles. And it's one win in a fucking G1. It's insanity to me. And like if Ishii's fine with it, good for you, that's fine. But like
I'm not fine
this
with
man not holding the main belt or a higher belt beyond the Never, and the Never's his belt. No one will ever take that away from him. That's Ishii's belt forever.
Yep.
But
this
like
is a travesty.
Him not holding a higher level belt in New Japan is going to go down as one of the biggest fuck ups in wrestling because he's beloved.
Yeah.
Like when he
Even
loses,
stateside, man.
like people still like fans in Japan like cry when he loses.
Yeah.
like they love him. And then stateside he comes over and has these fucking bangers.
Yeah, and people
like him,
love him
Eddie
over here.
is
Yeah.
insane.
Him Jericho.
Him Jericho. Him Eddie here was insane. Him Eddie in DC
Him
was
Mox,
crazy.
like-
Right. He's just fucking consistent, and they do nothing with him. And it's like, fuck me, man. But I do like Hanare, and good for him. I think this is like Hanare's like second win only in
Hanare's
this thing.
taken like 3 steps in this tournament.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, he just looks awesome.
Yeah.
Next up that I have, Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Well, I did watch Eddie versus Tamatanga because I'm not going to skip an Eddie match. I thought it was a solid match.
It was all right.
Again, I think that maybe Eddie's a little beat up from the frequency of his matches here.
Could be.
Coming off of a hernia surgery not that long
Yeah,
ago. So, but I did like the match. Tama Tonga, Turbo Man. I like that he took his Turbo Man shirt off to get chopped and stuff. I'm glad Eddie won because this keeps Eddie tied for first, which we'll get to in a bit. There's Eddie wins and he's in. Is how this works, but I don't know that he can.
We'll see.
But I haven't missed an Eddie match. I'm not going to miss an Eddie match. And if he's never back in the G1, I think he still had a really good showing.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, this match I liked it, but it's 3.5 stars. It's nothing. 3 stars, nothing great.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go 3.5.
No.
But Tetsuya Naito, Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes.
I feel like these two are like the ultimate dance partners.
Okay.
They never have a bad match.
Mm-hmm.
Naito looks like non-wash Naito against Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes.
Naito wins against Zack Sabre Jr.
And he gets plus 3 stars in that win, my friend.
It sure does.
Because he wins with a fucking inside cradle that popped me huge.
I must have watched that like crazy tornado DDT.
The kick off the corner. Yeah.
That my God. Ed, you want to fucking say Zack Sabre Jr. is boring and he does boring. Go watch that. How fucking cool that was.
We should just turn this podcast into where we just rebut everything that Ed says on a weekly basis.
I'm going to have to call in one day.
Yeah.
And we're just going to, Ed, why?
Right.
Just why?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I thought this was fucking.
We're gonna have Brett-versations with Ed.
Yeah, Brett-versations with Ed. All right. Those can go real dark real fast. Yeah, dude. I thought this was fucking awesome.
I thought it was really good. Zack Sabre kicks out of the Destino, which is crazy. And then he gets Destinoed on the Naito's knees, which is really gross. I don't know if it was supposed to happen, but it did. And then Naito wins again with an inside cradle plus 3 stars. I love Zack Sabre Jr. He's a top, 3 guy for me to watch. Because don't tell Taguchi, but I skip his matches sometimes. Because it depends on how much he gets shown and who he's working with. And
listen, if you go back and listen to our Best of the Super Juniors coverage, I don't know how many times we mentioned Taguchi's name.
I watched all Taguchi's matches for that. But Sabre Jr. legit, when I'm like, all right, who am I watching? Regularly in New Japan, I rarely miss an Ishii match.
Yep.
I rarely miss Shingo.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't even put Okada on that fucking list because you just have to watch Okada.
Of course.
But Sabre's right there,
awesome,
number 3
man.
or so. He's so much fun to watch to me.
Yeah.
I really, really love him.
I love these two together. They just have such good chemistry. And again,
it's Naito's best match that I saw in this G1.
Naito
Not
brings
that I saw
it,
all of them, but this is his best one.
And then main event, Shingo Takagi versus
Oh, brother, did I get scared in this
David Finlay.
one. I got scared in this one.
Why'd you get scared, my man?
Because Finlay kicks out of the Made in Japan. And I was like, you fuckers. And so he's at 8 points. Eddie with his win over Tama Tonga gets to 8 points. Evil's at 8 points. And I was like, oh man, Finlay's gonna win. He runs away with the division. But the last match is Eddie Finlay. That's Eddie's last match. I think it's the main event of their night too. That's Eddie's main event night.
Wow.
And I'm like, so he wins. So Shingo wins. Thank God to keep a 3-way tie.
When he hits the last of the dragon,
Right.
it's so sick.
So my only notes are I really want Finlay to lose. Thank Jeebus. For what it's worth, Finlay's still a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah, I like this match a lot. I thought Finlay.
Yeah,
I still think Finlay's G1 last year was
I would say
amazing.
His G1 last year is way better than his G1 this year.
Yes,
but he still has good stuff, and he's better than people give credit for. And he's not dyeing his beard that jet black right now. Yeah, he
stopped wearing that real dumb jacket that he had on.
It just doesn't quite work for him, and he has to find just like when Jay White first took over the Bullet Club, he was just Kenny Omega. They tried to just make him Kenny.
That's all.
And when he found himself, he became so much better.
It took a little bit, but
and Finlay might take some time too. And it does feel a little bit forced. So when Shingo won here, I'm like, okay, good, that's the right decision. Doesn't bode well for his last match. I don't know that Finlay loses 2 matches in a row. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I did really like this match because Shingo's fucking awesome.
Shingo is a dude that I agree. He's one of those where I'm like, I don't want to skip his matches. No. And I had to explain to Dwicky, he was a junior, up until a couple years ago. And Dwicky was like, are you fucking serious?
Yep.
It's like, yeah, man. They wanted to keep him as a junior.
Right.
He's the fucking man. Oh, I love
right.
Shingo.
And Joe Sposto once called a show with
Sure
him and
did.
BXB Hulk.
Was that Dragon Gate USA?
Dragon Gate USA in like 2009.
Where's that show at? I'd like to go back and watch that.
I don't know. It's on Cage Match though.
Okay.
Like what's on it? It's a crazy card.
Yeah, Joe, hit me with, if you have it, Joe.
Yeah, but
Give me a
it's
holler.
the commentary team is it's Diamond Joe Leonard, it's Lenny Leonard, I think,
Okay.
and somebody else I don't remember who.
Okay.
Joe would tell me. But yeah,
So where do you what do you have? Do you have the standings pulled up for the G1? The block standings are our standings.
well, so ours I can actually bring them both up in the Discord to read.
Okay.
So our standings as of this thing. So Marcus
Four nights left.
Marcus went 1-7
Well,
on the last
he
night. That
had a rough
stinks.
one.
But everybody, the best anybody did was 4-4.
Yeah.
Tim is in first place, which is my nightmare.
With 59.
With 59.
you better hope because he's the Vince McMahon in my hands.
I know. I'm in second with 58, so I just gotta. We were tied last week. You did one better than me. I pulled the 3 and 5 on the night 12, so that stunk. You're at 57, so like that's all right there.
Yeah.
You know, Michelle has dropped to fourth place at 55. Still a great standing based on abs alone.
The run's coming to an end there.
DeWicki at 54 and Marcus at 53. So it's super
It's
tight.
still anybody's fucking
It's super
game.
tight.
Whose game is it? With everybody saying
Right.
L.A. Night.
Yeah. One match left for everybody.
Yeah.
The nights become tag matches.
And then your four singles.
And then 4 singles for each block. So those are coming up. But the current standings for each block, the people who matter, I guess.
Yeah.
Block A, Sonata has it sunk in with 12.
he's in
Nobody's
already.
touched
Yeah,
him. He's undefeated. He's probably going to win his last match. Maybe he won't.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have him lose. I don't know who's wrestling who, though.
Yeah.
So that's tough. Hikuleo is in second, went 3-3 with 6 points.
That's crazy.
And Kaito Kiyomiya went 2-2-2. He has 6 points.
Do you want me to tell you the matchups for the last nights?
Oh, you can, yeah, if you have
I
them.
have them. So,
Yeah. Block A.
block. Jesus Christ. Sonata Chase Owens.
Oh, well,
Sonata's going undefeated.
Chase Owens, the only thing that Chase Owens lose to in the G1 is Chase Owens. I'll eat my hat. I'll eat Brett's hat. I'll eat Joe's John Cena hat.
Red Narita Kaito Kiyomiya.
Ooh, that's tough. Okay. Oh, he'll beat Narita, though. Narita only has 4. Narita's in the last place, 1-3-2.
Shooter versus Hikuleo.
So that's the most interesting thing because Hikuleo has 6 points and Shooter has 6 points. So like if Shooter beats Hikuleo, Shooter moves up to second place depending on who's Kaito's wrestling Narita. Because Kaito also has 6 points. So and I don't know who has the tiebreaker, but right now Kiyomiya is listed over Shooter.
They had a draw.
They had a draw. So
And
I don't know how that'll
then-
go.
Suji versus Gabe Kidd.
Oh, that'll be a good match. They both have 5 points. They're
Yeah.
unless something catastrophic happens to Hikuleo, Kiyomiya, and Umino, those guys are eliminated too.
Yeah.
But
All right. So
We'll
now
see.
what's the standings in B block?
B block, Okada is in first with 10 points. Ospreay is in second with 8 points. Tai Chi has 6. Tongaloa has 6. Phantasmo has 6. Everybody else has 4.
Okay.
So it's Okada and Ospreay.
So your matches here are
Unless Ospreay's not wrestling Tai Chi, right? So
it's Tai Chi Great Okan,
okay, Great O'Connor has 4 points. So
ELP versus Osprey.
okay, ELP can win and tie Ospreay, but I don't think that'll happen.
Okada Tongaloa.
Tongaloa has 6 points. If he beats
I'll fucking throw
If
up.
he beats Okada, he can tie Ospreay and get put in the
I will
mix
call
there.
you, and you're just going to hear me throw up. And
Hot.
the main event, Yoshihashi versus Kenta.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Just like we all predicted.
Yes. So Yoshihashi has 4 points. Kenta has 4 points. That basically doesn't matter.
Why is that a main event?
I don't know.
Maybe it's not.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
not.
I'm just going because normally the cards they've been running
Yeah, they have
correctly.
been.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard for Ospreay for it not to be Okada and Ospreay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing though.
I wonder if they're running these
If
reverse order.
Okada loses, he goes to 5-2. If Ospreay wins, he goes to 5-2.
He has the tiebreaker.
And he has the tiebreaker, which could be why they put him over Okada to have Ospreay win the bracket.
Could be.
Who knows? But it's going to be Okada and Ospreay in one way or the other.
All right, C block.
David Finley's in first with 8 points. Evil in second with 8 points. And Eddie's in third with 8 points, all 4-2. Tamatonga has 7. Shingo has 7. Mikey Nichols has 4. Hanare has 4. Ishii has 2.
Okay. So the matches on that night.
Yes.
Eddie versus Finley.
Right. So this is where the really interesting thing comes in, right? Because with Evil with 8 points and Eddie with 8 points, if they tie, Evil has his win over Eddie.
Yeah.
So Evil has to lose. If Eddie has to win, and Evil has to lose.
Shingo versus Evil.
Okay.
Tamatonga versus Hanare.
Okay.
And Ishii Mikey Nichols.
Okay, well, Ishii will get a second win.
My God, I hope.
So Finley Eddie is really interesting because Finley just lost. He's the leader of the Bullet Club. He's here. He's the never champion, right?
Yeah.
So, but Eddie has to beat him to make it through to be in the top. If Eddie beats him, it's in the top. But if Evil wins, then it's Eddie and Evil going through.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening. I think Finley makes it through, right? That would be conceivable. But here's what I think. Who's Evil wrestling? Shingo.
Shingo.
I think Evil loses to Shingo. And this isn't in my bracket. This is the way things fall now. I think Eddie and Finley draw. And they go through with, and it's 9, and they both have 9 points. Finley keeps the top spot, and Evil's eliminated at 8. Okay. I think that's what they're going to do here because they've been leaning on draws so much. And I think having Eddie there, having the international appeal, and having him have the never open belt, I think you have Eddie go through.
All right. And then D block.
The person in top of D block right now is Jeff Cobb with 8 points.
That's Marcus's fucking horse.
Cobb and Hikuleo, and Hikuleo's in the running still too.
Dude, right?
Wild.
Marcus called that shit.
Sabre Jr. with 8 points. Naito with 8 points. They're all 4-2.
Okay.
Tanahashi has 6. Goto has 6. Shane Haste has 4. Coughlin has 4. Toru Yano has 4.
Okay, so that night you have Goto, Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay, that can go either way. Goto can really be playing spoiler there. Yeah.
Cobb, Shane Haste.
Okay, Cobb's gonna win that. So Cobb gets 10 points.
Tanahashi, Naito.
That's gonna be. Tanahashi can play spoiler there too. So because whoever wins between Sabre and Naito, if one of them loses, the other one makes it through.
And then Yano Coughlin.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. There's some spoilers there. So,
it's going to be interesting, man. I'm excited.
It sure is.
The shows are, let's see. So A block is August 5th.
Yeah.
Which that is what? Technically Saturday morning?
Yeah, I guess so.
So that's August 5th. That starts at 4 a.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm. That's A block?
Yes.
Okay.
B block, August 6th. That starts at 1 a.m. Eastern time.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sunday show.
Okay.
There's a day off.
Mm-hmm.
So Tuesday, August 8th. Starts at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time.
That's the C block?
That's C block.
I might join you.
And D block, August 9th. Starts at 5:30 a.m.
Okay. I might join you for the C block night just because.
Keep in mind, sleep in an extra hour.
Right. The
earliest you have to wake up at 6:30.
Yeah, you said the B block starts at 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
I might do that one to see how that hangs out because that timing is nice.
I think that's the show where Eddie's on commentary with Kevin Kelly too.
Oh, is it the 6th?
I think it's the 6th.
Yeah. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
But block C, to see how things shake out for Eddie, I'll probably get up for that one live.
Yeah. Just wake up at 6:30.
You're right. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it's really interesting. And I looked at my standings, and so there's a path for every single person I picked making it to the quarterfinals, except for Goto. Goto ain't making it.
I was wondering,
they're all, if they all go through the paths that they have, mine are all flipped winner and runner up.
How? Are we not scoring the quarterfinals?
No,
it's like we can't do that, right?
Right. So I think
some people are going to have people there,
right? I think
otherwise it's an automatic loss.
Right. The winner of the G1 is who got the matches.
Yeah,
right.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But you do get bragging rights no matter how it falls. If you've picked the winner,
I like that.
And the finals, like maybe we'll assign points to it or something, and say whatever you stand. But if you pick the finals, and the winner, you get an extra 10 points in the rankings or something.
Hey man, a lot lot of us are, we did good.
I think we all did
Nobody
great.
had a bad...
No, we all did great.
Yeah, we all did great
We all
so
did
far.
really great.
I mean, really, like, you're 20 matches over 500.
Yeah, right.
For
half the people that do, like, for you and me to be the only really people that follow the G1
Yeah.
regularly,
And for everybody to just have fun.
DeWicki to kind of be there. Everyone's having fun. DeWicki's up watching it with you.
Dude,
Like,
it's
that's really
fucking
cool.
awesome, man.
Tim and Marcus don't really, like, we've turned Marcus into a Japanese wrestling
Dude,
fan,
that makes me very happy.
and have Michelle involved.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be more people. And then, but also when the brackets or when the blocks are over and we get into the quarterfinals and stuff, Silverthorne's there because they filled out a thing.
True, yeah.
I think somebody else did too, Kevin Ford.
Yeah.
So like then we get to have some fun with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's if by some chance you've got these, then great. But we'll figure that out. But the bragging rights winner is the person who did the full bracket.
Yeah.
I think
It's been so much fun.
It's been a ton of fun.
Fucking love the G1.
Ton of fun for sure.
So that's it.
That's it.
By this time we record next week, we'll know who's in the quarterfinals for the G1.
Yeah.
And then, we'll see
It's like 3 nights or whatever, right? 3 or 4 nights.
how the days get announced out.
Yeah,
so
it's all over by the 16th.
I believe that's the final, the 16th.
So the finals we're going to be watching Super Juniors. Is it the 16th?
No, that's the 18th.
Oh, it's August anyway. Yeah, no, the 19th is okay. Yeah, the 16th. You're right. That's the 19th for us to be there. I was looking at September. So 2 weeks will be all said and done. The N1's going to be starting. I'll see if I have the time to make an N1 bracket.
Yeah, if you do, great. If not, I know that's not as...
I'm not going to be watching as much as the N1 for
Me
sure.
Me neither. I'll be sleeping.
But we'll see what happens.
So, okay, the final is August 13th.
Okay, that's a Sunday.
Yeah, you know what? Normally it's on a Sunday.
Okay,
That's right.
that's a week this Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll know by then.
Yeah, so next week we'll know who's
in
the quarterfinals.
The quarterfinals,
and the week after that we'll have.
So the quarterfinals take place on the 10th. So next week when we record,
like the quarterfinals will be over. So we're gonna have to. So that's a Thursday.
Yeah. So when we record next week, we'll know.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to watch those quarterfinals
Thursday morning if you want to wake up.
We'll have to watch. I'll have to watch them in the morning so that we get them done.
Yeah.
For the show because those are pretty important.
So all 4 matches happen on the 10th.
Yeah.
Day off, the 12th is the semis.
Okay.
And then
the 13th is the finals.
13th is the
finals. Okay.
So
and that's easy because that's the weekend, but I'll have to get up to 10th
and stretch,
early.
man. Yeah. And stretch is coming.
Yep. And this is like you thought there was good matches here. Like these quarterfinals and the finals have to be killer.
This is where it really
by design
really gets ramped up.
Right. By design, you really shouldn't have under a 4-star match. So
that's all I had, dude.
Me too, buddy.
Did you buy anything other than your tickets to the Junior Festival?
I bought a sick ass Batman action figure.
That is cool.
But nothing wrestling related that I can think of.
I bought Lucy from that 4-pack that's been available. I bought the Rocky Maivia Elite.
Nice.
Because I have to add that into my new generation collection.
Right.
Because I don't think they're making an ultimate of that.
No, I don't think so.
And then I bought the EO Sky Elite, the new one.
Oh, nice.
Because I love EO Sky.
Nice. So, her old one went out.
The old one's fantastic.
In every sale ever, but it's a great figure.
It's amazing. I like the new one too. Comes with like the women's tag belt.
Yeah.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah. I love EO Sky. So I'm very happy about that. Yep. That's it. That's all I got, brother. Was there anything else we're supposed to talk about?
That's all I got too. Right. Sadly, our review of the 3rd episode of Hayabusa is going to have to get pushed to another show. We're sorry, Ed, we just ran out of time.
Ed, do me a favor if you're still listening this late into the show. Have your panel be on Friday, not Saturday, please.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Just have it be Friday.
Yeah.
Please. Because otherwise we're out of town the next day.
But... you can find us on the internet at WeNeedWrestling.com. We Need Wrestling at We Need Wrestling on social medias. I got a Blue Sky invite I got to sign up for us.
I forgot that was a thing.
Right, Blue Sky's a thing. Email the show WeNeedWrestling@gmail.com. We're a proud member of the Soon to Be Named Network at STBN Network on Twitter and Instagram. SoonToBeNamedNetwork.com. SoonToBeNamedNetwork.tumblr.com. Check out all the shows there. Our other show, Wings on Wings. At Odds with Wrestling.
Did you listen to the Final Wrestling Place 20-minute blurb this week?
I did not. I'm so behind on podcasts this week.
Okay. You should listen.
Should I? Okay.
You should give it a listen.
Well, I'm so wildly behind.
It's only like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. I did see that.
Give it a listen.
I will. I'll listen to it in the morning. What where was I? Oh, Long Box Heroes After Dark. Sign up for the At Odds Patreon so that you can get on the Discord. Final Wrestling Places, Brett just mentioned. Puzzle Warriors 3, Profane Argument, Hayabusa. I think that's just about everything, right?
I think so.
All right. One day we'll get RJ City on this show.
Please.
On Wings, I mean. Rest in peace, Paul Rubens. Apparently very good friends with RJ City.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Sure.
That's like a random connection.
But Wrestling Star, we didn't talk about that in the beginning, but wrestling adjacent. Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman made some appearances here and there.
Yeah.
But majorly important to my childhood. You probably missed him, huh? The couple of years.
It's a little past me.
Past you. Yeah.
That's why I don't have like the big connection to Pee Wee.
Right.
You know, I obviously I knew Pee Wee
I watched
growing
Pee Wee
up.
every day before school.
Yeah, I knew him growing up because there'd be reruns on, but his show was already done by the time I was in
That's
growing
what I
up. So,
figured.
but yeah, Pee Wee's still fucking rocked.
Yeah, Pee Wee's hilarious.
Hey, you're fucking weird. It's
Right.
cool.
Exactly.
It's cool to be weird.
And we'll be back next week with well, I guess the quarter. We'll know who's in the quarter. We'll know who won the quarter.
We'll know who's in the semifinals.
Semifinals.
G1.
Craziness.
Oh, I can't fucking
And we'll
wait.
see. I'm sure Stardom has another
I'm
Grand
sure
Prix match.
Tokyo
and-
Joshi Pro probably has
Yep.
their semifinals
We'll
for
see
the
what
Princess
happens.
tournament.
But I will leave you with this on the Joe versations with Ed, where he says the Ed explains to Joe that DDT's WrestleMania is called Wrestling Peter Pan,
Yeah.
and Joe's like, "What?" It's hilarious.
Dude, that was so funny.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But that's it. We'll be back next week.
I don't have anything witty to say.
You're listening to the soon-to-be named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds.